Ho ho. Halo semuanya, kembali lagi dengan suara bintang aku. Sakit lagi. Terus. Selamat malam. Sorry ya kalau suara gua bindeng ya. Sakit guys. Asli dah. Capek banget, sakit mulu Yaudah ya. Mari kita langsung aja ritual kita. Ritual kita di pagi hari yang ada di US. Apa kalau bukan? Ya betul sekali. Kompe. Malam pasti ya. Gila, gue batuk pilek lagi guys. Masa gue batuk pilek lagi sih? Capek banget. Apa ini? Oh, replay udah bisa. Oh, sudah bisa replay ya. Iya. Oke. Oke.
Match found.
Kurang istirahat ya om. Iya nih. Kayak gara-gara begadang nonton Valorant mulu dah kita guys. Jam 1 mulu kali tuh, 4 hari tuh jam 1 semua tuh. Kecuali RRQ jam 12. Kayaknya drop gua, kecapean. Banyakan beraktivitas. Gua banyak banget yang dilakuin soalnya kan. Watch party iya, record iya, ngurusin Shopee PRX iya. Tepar gue kecapean ini. Waduh, Corrode. Fate. Oh, Fate udah dipilih. Belum ada controller ya. Controller di sini siapa lagi gue gak tahu. Omen. Aduh, gua nggak bisa nge-smoke lagi di sini. Ya udahlah ya. It is what it is lah. Ya udahlah. It is what it is. Terus gua jadi omen. Biar ngelawaknya lah gitu lah. Malam, Renol. Prediksi buat tanggal 20. Tanggal 20 ada apa ya? Saya tidak tahu tanggal 20 ada apa, guys. Ada apa di tanggal 20? Aku kemarin dalam 3 minggu drop sampai 2 kali pilek, flu dan radang. Iya kan, makanya kenapa ya? Aduh, capek banget guys, sakit itu capek banget, you know. Sangat lelah, sakit itu sangat lelah. Oh iya ya, ada glove, lupa gue. Viper gak bisa aku kill B. Nah, biar Devin bisa istirahat yuk. PRX menang cepet yuk. Gue tuh bingung ya, gue mendingan minum obat atau enggak guys ya. Maksudnya gue mendingan obat dokter apa enggak ya. Gue udah keseringan minum obat, udah takut. Gue udah minum obat herbal sih, yang kayak obat batuk cap ibu anak. Terus gue tadi minum Rino sudah 2. Bingung gue. Panas hujan terus. Gue juga radang tenggorokan, digeber vitamin C. Gue udah kagak tau dah. Udah sakit gue, udah terlambat vitamin C nya cuy. PRX jam 2 guys mainnya guys. Jam 2, jam 8. Jam 2 mainnya. Kenapa sih gue jam 2 mulu? Jam 8 mainnya. Masya Allah.
Enemy spotted.
Shadows traveling.
Enemy
Planted.
Last player standing.
Blinding.
Lah, orangnya kagak ada anjir. Sialan. Anjir, clove-nya 120, cu. Dukung siapa? Dukung siapa? Lu masih nanya dukung siapa?
Let's go.
DWSO, makasih ya. Kirain nonton turnamen. Jam 8 mulainya, woi. Enakan cek dokter sih, Ben. Ya, gue juga pengen cek dokter. Cuma kalau sama dokter pasti dikasih antibiotik lagi, guys.
Time to jump.
Enemy A.
Anjir.
Last player
Ya
standing.
elah, dari kanan gua,
Spike
Tokai.
down A. Flawless. Reina. After
Iya
you
loh,
from
udah
the
pakai baju
bottom, what's your
PRX
name?
masih ditanya lagi gua. Masih ditanya lo, gua dukung siapa lo? Gila kali. Ada.
Cover going out.
Done.
Wah, anjir.
Spike down A.
Sialan, sialan.
Have the spike. Where are you? Stealing sight. There. Enemy spotted A. Bring them down. Enemy spotted A. Bring them down. Last player standing.
Gila.
Spike down A.
Mati dah. Minum wedang nggak ngaruh, Kay.
If they try something,
Tak ngaruh, tak ngaruh. Kayak ada cosplay buat nonton film di bioskop, pas beli tiket masih ditanya mau nonton apa. Iya kan. Udah cosplay Tanjidor, Nezuko, ditanya mau nonton apa. One Piece.
Keep it together.
One by one.
reload.
Spike down mid.
Kenapa gua gak blinding aja ya anjir?
Here. Here.
Last player standing. I have this fight. Cutting their vision.
Waduh.
Boş yapmayın. Keep fighting. Rest is overrated.
Ada kelanjutan dari Mr. AP. Ada kok. Dikirim kok guys. Ditunggu aja. Udah di kontak gua sama tim RRQ-nya. Tinggal tunggu sampai aja. Gue terdengar tidak excited, padahal gue excited loh. Cuma gue lagi sakit, jadi gue kayak
Who will heal their healer?
Cover going out.
Carrier dead. My ult's
Thank you dah. Thank you
Spike
dah.
is here. I have retrieved the spike. Cage triggered.
There, take them! Bring them down. Mark one.
One enemy remaining. Last player
Cage
standing.
triggered.
Look your enemy in the
Lagi ikut anime musim ini gak?
eyes with accuracy.
Gua nontonnya masih sama kayak musim lalu sih. Ada pilek-pilek ini cuk. Mana nih? Klasiknya kok tebel amat.
Cutting through. Many.
Shadows traveling. Stealing sight.
Anjir,
Spike
anjir.
down mid.
Gua maju, dia maju, semuanya maju mundur.
Player standing.
Gila, ini mah dibantai guys, dikorot guys. Gigi dah. Belum tahu tapi kapan dikirim. Iya deh, langsung aja deh bang. Ujuk dah, susah banget anjir main game ini ya. Gue langsung pakai aja lah ulti gue lah.
I'll cut through.
Banyak-banyak vitamin, udah Jos, gue vitamin C, D, Omega. Set. Udah bukan ini lagi gue.
Get out of my way! Bam!
Camera taken out.
Reloading.
Spike planted. Shadows traveling.
Face your fear!
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Ya Allah. Alamak, lagi mau nge-smoke anjir. Ternyata ada yang dari bokong saya.
Find the weakness.
Ntar ada judai gak? Ada judai nanti. Cuma omen duelis bejir. Apa ya dah. Aku kira akan pecah telur. Aku kira akan pecah telur juga. Ternyata yang pecah malah telurku. Bukan telur tim. Aduh.
Stay focused.
Cover going out.
Cutting through.
I'll find you.
Here.
Removed.
Cover going out.
Reloading.
My ultimate's ready.
Free dong. Apa yang kita tunggu?
Plant spike. Reloading.
Spike planted. Shadows traveling. Here.
Ya Allah. Brengsek.
Where are you?
One enemy remaining.
We'll catch them.
I knew your every move.
This isn't over.
Es terus. Es terus ya. Jadi salah es ya. Goreng terus, es terus.
Watch them run.
What the fuck? Whiff, bro.
Time to jump.
Find you. Mark 1. My ult is ready.
Last player standing.
Santai dah. Satu poin ngap, bro. Saatnya dead.
Never show weak.
It's time to die.
Cover going out. Cover going out.
My ult's ready.
Reloading. Reloading.
Reloading.
Reloading. 1 by 1. My ult's ready. Reloading.
Here.
Reloading.
Here.
Last player
Di anjing. Gak jelas, cok. Gak jelas anjir.
The enemy only looks composed. Their hearts
Ada.
tell a different story.
Jam berapa PRX main? Jam 8, guys. Oh my god, stop it with the coughing, bro. Jesus.
Jump them. Time to jump. I'll handle this.
Enemy A. Reloading.
Shadows traveling. Here. Spike planted.
Enemy.
Shadows traveling.
Bring them down.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
My turn.
Kayak gini, bang.
Bring them down.
Last player standing. Last round in the half.
Skill issue apa tim issue, bang?
Money now.
Dua-duanya,
There's no
baby.
bank in hell.
Skill issue, personal issue, tim issue, semua issue.
No
Can't
prisoners.
even remember the spike.
3-11 anjir.
Cutting through.
Cover going out.
Dear.
Here.
Where are you? Reloading.
Gak diambil bomnya. Box banget dah.
You will not kill my ally.
Anyone else?
Last
Ya
player
Allah,
standing.
nge-whiff.
One enemy remaining. Switching sides.
Wait until I blind them to strike.
Aduh, ibu. No spike, no spike. Emang mau kalah aja nih mah.
I'll find you.
Many enemies mid.
Cover going out.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Oh. Comeback ya.
Fabric here is thin.
Abang kan tim ARGB bang, comeback nanti. Tim ARGB nggak comeback sayang, tim ARGB kalah kemarin. Apa maksud? Apa maksud?
There. Where are you?
Shadows traveling.
Spike planted. Last player standing. Match point.
Strike at their weak points. If one link breaks, the rest will follow.
Ah, my lord and savior. Aduh.
I must hold together. Shadows traveling.
Spike down B.
Cover going out.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
Kayak gitu.
Attackers
Gila
win.
susah banget anjir.
One by one.
Jago banget dah musuh-musuhnya dah. Apa sih? Apa sih musuh-musuhnya jago banget? Aji silver apa kayak gitu cu? Wilayahnya cu 504. 504. Apa ini? The fuck? Ah iya. Ah elah. Cobain replaynya bak. Nggak mood. Replay itu kalau menang. Kalau kalah mah gak usah replay aja. Apa yang mau di-replay, hah? Apa yang mau di-replay dari kekalahan? Malu lihat kill sendiri kagak bisa nge-kill. Aduh, suara gue kayak tai lagi.
Back on, and DRX dismantled them. So I think there's a clear front runner in that conversation.
I agree. I think
Silver
it'll be,
500
but that's
poin
also the
makanya.
team we expected, right, to come into
Gak jelas kan Silver
this.
kayak
So,
gitu kan?
That is one thing that wasn't left field, at least from last
Or as they say in
week.
French. Oui.
From Dr. X to Professor X, see what I did there? Paper X have been perfecting their smack talk lately. Let's see what they have been cooking up.
Welcome to the latest edition of Smack
Alec
Talk
dan
Seminar.
Jason.
But we're going to do it in French today, which only seems fitting because we are in France. Now, fellas, I'm not going to lie to you. I took a semester of French in middle school, and I think the only thing I remember is that there's a difference between poison and fish. That's about as much as French as I know. Forsaken, what about you? How's your French?
Bonjour. Merci.
Great. You're well ahead of us on this. It's going to be great. Alex, I imagine you're pretty comfortable here.
Marah-marah mulu dari pagi, aku nggak marah-marah saya.
You've taken
Ini
more
efek
classes than me.
sakit.
Like, I've never taken a class in French in my life.
Perfect.
So,
Efek
This
sakit.
is the blind leading the blind. And we might have a few issues here. All right. So I got a couple of phrases that I want you to teach us how to say. I want us to learn how to do a little French trash talk, if you will. The first one I want you to teach us how to say is sit back down.
that means assis-toi.
There, no shot.
Assieds-toi. No, you have to roll the R a little bit. Like,
Wait,
assis-toi.
You're not rolling your R. Where?
Assis-toi. Okay, it's not really rolled, but it's like comes from. It's a bit nasal.
Assieds-toi.
I'm like gargling. There's a it comes. It's a little bit nasal. Like it's at the back of the nose, I think. Assis-toi.
Assieds-toi.
Okay, look.
No, that was bad.
Totally clear. I don't even know if this trash talk is right because I've never trash talked anyone in French before.
But do we sound good? I feel like we sound good.
Assieds-toi. Perfect. Yes.
And maybe if I do the
Assieds-toi.
Banyak seperti memang game belajar emang sialan game tadi itu
All
guys.
right, let's do the next one.
Ah, stop sakit.
Learn to aim.
Learn to aim. Apprendre à viser. How do I say this without? I need to know how to say it like aggressively. I don't know.
You said it pretty aggressively.
Apprendre à viser.
Yeah, I feel that felt like all right. My bad. I messed up.
But he should learn how to say that because we can't shoot. I think.
Yeah, that's true. He should be telling us that.
Not bad.
How to say? You guys.
Apprendre. Oh, you guys.
Who?
No, who is you? So like. I can't say it.
We can't ask questions other
Wrong
than
teacher,
from
wrong
this card.
teacher.
Yeah, he's the wrong one. All right, say that for me one more time.
Translating is hard.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
in my head, you know. Apprendre à viser.
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 I think we're still missing something back
Yeah.
here.
Apprendre à viser.
Apprendre.
I'm like trying to channel my Vansili. He could, and he'd do it back here, and it sounds really
Canadian
good.
French,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You ever heard him
he'll be
say
fine.
tour de force?
No?
Like, and it just sounds incredible. I don't know. It
Tour de
feels like,
force.
yeah,
Oh.
way better. All right, next one. No skill, which is us
This
trying
one,
to
I
speak
don't actually know what
this
this
language.
is.
No, like this, Alex.
I've never seen this word
like
in my
this.
life.
Let me see.
Okay, you try first.
Akun skill.
Is that a V?
I think it's okun skill.
Akun.
I'm gonna go
skill.
ahead and go with.
Okun skill.
I'm gonna go
I think-
with Alex on this one.
But I've
Akun
never seen
skill.
this word in my life. So
Akun?
Akun skill.
Akun skill.
okun.
Okun.
Okun, I think. I think it's okun skill.
Akun skill.
Okun skill.
Guys, kalau watch party kali ini kita diem-dieman gimana guys?
We probably should have checked Alex's French skills before we.
Kita live streaming kayaknya watch partinya diem-dieman ya.
I think Lemek is.
Cuma ada muka gua aja.
Lemek?
Gila gue capek banget ngomong anjir, gatel banget tenggorokan gua loh.
I think.
Oh iya.
Like genuinely. No, yeah, I'm not even gonna try it. One more time. That's gonna do it for this edition of Smack Talk Seminar. I forgot the name already. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and apprendre la viser. Apprendre la viser.
There's something really nice about having a member of the talent, Doug, being able to actually speak French on our show, right?
That's definitely true. He's put the work in, and other people.
Ada gosip apa di kubu PRX sama GX? Gosip apa anjay?
I should have went straight to the maestro himself.
Yeah, it's nice
Gosip
to hear
apa,
Alex
guys?
speak French as well. You're
Aku tak tahu loh.
representing, I guess,
Aku hidupnya lempeng-lempeng baik.
background.
Rambutnya Insu kenapa kayak gitu dah?
Standing member right now.
Yeah, you
has
said
even
that
a
earlier.
connection to France. So as I said, you know.
Yeah, for PaperX.
Oh iya, kita mulai betting ya. mulai
super
betting dah.
strong in VCT against the
Betting
EMEA
dimulai.
region. Will this ring true today? What should GX be worried about here?
Oh, I think there's an abundance of things that GX should be worried about. I think on an individual level, I
Mitsuri
think almost every
aja.
single member
Iya
of
lah
the
kayak
team
Mitsuri
is
ya
at like
dari
a
juga loh.
peak form. I think they've proven themselves against many different styles of play. I think even on maps that maybe they don't look the strongest, PRX can
Thumbnailnya
still upset you.
YouTube
And unfortunately in this
Valorant
series, a lot of
GX
the
ya,
middle ground maps, which
bukan
we'll get
PRX
to
ya,
later,
kacau loh.
are actually very good maps for PRX as well.
Yeah, and I think as we heard from Alex in the interview that happened in between one of the maps they played the other day, he was, or in the halftime, he was saying that for them, they needed to just feel confident, warm up, and that map 2 would be a completely different story. And we saw them come out then, PRX, looking so much more confident, looking dominant from the get-go. They've warmed up down on that stage. I don't think they're going to need the same reset coming into today. They'll be on form from the get-go. And for GiantX, I don't think they've ever played. Look, until you've played PRX, you've never played against a team that plays like PRX. Because even if you try to imitate their style, you don't have the individuals to back it up. And that's just a guarantee because only this team does. So for GX, they got to come in confident off rip. We're also going to need to see them tighten up the ship massively because an individual mistake will cost you the game against these guys.
Here's the thing though, let me cope for a second. I mean, I'm a paper girl, but I think I will be more worried
Paper
if
girl.
GX didn't coming off of the back of beating Sentinels. That is a confidence booster.
Yeah, it was a really impressive performance across the board. Like we saw Ara come out firing even after being a little
Kenapa
bit
ya kalau
sick
mereka
a
tuh
few
aiming
days
tuh kayak
before. I
bagus
think it
banget.
was very good that he seemed to look fantastic individually. Cloud, I think, had maybe the best performance he's had all year. Like he was phenomenal. All the way through that matchup, and he was the one player that had that additional little bit of experience. So the fact that he was able to take some rounds into his own hands
Bet
were
dari poin dempul Kak
fantastic.
Ian
And then one
Aswah
of the
dari poin
major
dempul.
saving points for me was the fact that I feel like players like Westside, who most people in EMEA highlight as their best player, actually he was okay.
Yes.
It wasn't his best game.
Aku izin ya sama sakit hari ini dan berikut-berikutnya gua nggak nyampe jam 1 ya guys ya. Jam 12 gua udahan ya. Jadi gua nggak bakal nonton sampai habis. Kecuali fast game kayak RRQ kemarin gak apa-apa gue tungguin bentar. Tapi kalau sampai jam 1 lagi gue takutnya gue drop. Jadi gue jam 12 maksimal gue udahan ya. Kayak kan gue nonton satu map doang gitu dari match kedua. Nih suara gue udah kayak gini nih. Masa kan gak kasihan sih sama gue? Udah parah nih suara gue nih. Ada.
It's not what they needed. The last couple weeks and coming onto that stage the other week, he was on fire, and that's what we need to see from this guy.
Biar kita bisa watch party tiap hari, bro.
As you said, he was ill. They weren't able to practice. I believe they got
Iya
one day
sakit
of practice
Naswa.
before that
Karena suara gue gak kedengeran beda guys. Ini suara gue bindeng loh. Cek 1 2 3 cek.
It paid off, especially for Cloud. So this is great sign for GX, and I've learned to never doubt them. My bad, Pipson. I was starting to question. I lost faith. But I won't beat Tom anymore. I'm not going against our region. I think they've got what it takes if it's their day.
I do like though that I forgot what I was gonna say. Is Westside reflecting on GiantX's win in our open player moment?
I mean, I expected us to win because I believe that Sentinels is not someone like unbeatable. We started off good, but as many people probably know us from like EMEA, we like to just give up the first map for free.
Kok cuma 100 sayang kamu? Harusnya kamu 1000 tahu. Kamu kan poinnya unlimited.
It's pretty hard for a team to get on champions.
Gak separah yang dulu. Masa sih?
We're a bad team, you know. I think
ini suara gue bindeng loh gila. Gue ngomong udah kayak gue harus ngomongnya kayak pakai suara rendah gue supaya nggak terlalu bindeng. Kalau gue ngomong pakai suara tinggi gue yang normal kayak bindeng banget bro. Jesus. Jangan lupa guys. Jangan lupa. Masih bisa bet gak? Bisa Tasya. Jangan lupa beli perks yuk. Di deskripsi beli perks buat yang belum, Lagi diskon guys, murah banget, bagus banget, serius. Udah banyak yang beli, banyak yang review bagus. Kalau kalian nggak percaya, kalian beli sendiri, kalian cobain. Bagus banget baju perks, let's go. Ini kalau gua nggak main PRX, gua pakai baju perks nih. Suaranya maskulin sekali bang, kalau bindeng bisa aja kamu sono. Gue sebenarnya tuh gak kenapa-napa ya, cuma gue tuh bete sendiri gitu loh dengar suara gue. Terus kalau ngomong tuh kayak butuh effort.
Yeah, sure. I think you can have a full highlight montage of just a single one of their games. Like it was the flank we saw from Forsaken and so many different like crazy individual moments that were just performing to such a high level. And it was when they needed it in some cases, and in other rounds it was just like, oh, this just ended it quick.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to what, you know, some of the boys on the side of GX have to say. It is still Cloud +4 rookies, you know, some of these guys never been to a global event. They have to come in and start with champs right off the bat. So let's hear from the leader of GiantX, Cloud, who chatted with Mika Fabs a little bit earlier.
Mika here, and I am with Cloud of GiantX. Now, you're up against PRX, and a lot of teams have said that playing against PRX, especially on the first time,
terang banget tuh kayak jam 12 siang tuh.
So I'm wondering, what are you expecting out of this match?
I'm expecting hell of a fun playing against them. I think it's gonna be a crazy game, but also like really fun to play against them. That's what I feel like. Is there crazy plays and moves? Yeah.
I think the whole crowd is expecting a lot of fun as well. So
Bajunya GX, buy the GX bundle, bro. Hard sell sekali dia.
That's what they all say, right, though. They expect crazy plays, they expect fun. But there's one thing to expect it, Mitch, and another thing to be able to actually deal with Forsaken and co.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, right? Because PRX are that team that are going to come out and just, they're going to hit you hard off bat. And getting back on your feet from that is going to be a real challenge for anybody. Cloud, like he stepped up individually in their matchup. I have no doubt he'll be able to match pound for pound. One of the things, though, that worries me is the fact that you have got some of the best components that we've seen within EMEA. Looking at Flickless, for example, providing that supportive utility, getting that set up for Ara to then go in, and I think up against, it was on Haven against Sentinels, he was 10-2 in opening duels. I mean, he gave them so many chances to hammer home those rounds. When you see GiantX now play against PRX, will they be given that space to set themselves up for success? Because PRX are going to be so disruptive to the GX early game plan.
Well, that's what it is. They're very good at sort of hitting the timing so that when you're trying to get in for your execute, which is something I think
sponsori tim sendiri, iya jadi hard sell banget GX.
These execute scenarios, they may not get there because of the way that PRX are actually going to.
Selamat malam, Chris.
Yeah, and this man on your screen, I mean, on paper, there is definitely a gap, maybe even a dip. That people will say between Forsaken and Cloud. But I do have a tweet here, you know? We want to feature some of our watch partiers from Finesse or Jean, for those people that you know him, saying Cloud called maybe one of the best attack halves I've seen in years on Haven today. And if you're Cloud, you got to feel happy that one of the top 13 America's IGLs has such high opinions of you.
FNS.
That's a tough comment to follow, but yeah, I think that he did it. He's been growing into the role. I think that's the best way I'll say it, is that it sort of started off with
Cloud and Forsaken embrace the trash talk buat.
The right players at the right time for the role. And then I think
poin kamu banyak sayang, aman aja. Poin kamu menjubel.
Like a well-drilled machine, and I think him versus Forsaken, it's definitely going to be a very
untuk beli obat gitu langsung Devin, terima kasih Hendro 25.000-nya, terima kasih. Next round kita bet 3K. Buset, emang kamu belum tidur? Emang kamu belum tidur sayang, next round jam 9. Udah ngantuk, jangan dipaksa. Untung tadi gue udah tidur sore dulu sih guys.
Yeah, they could try, but I think it's enough yapping from us. So let's just hear from the man himself, Forsaken, as Mika Fabs caught up with him earlier.
Hey guys, Mika here, and I am with Forsaken. Forsaken, we know you're good. The whole world knows that you're good. When it comes to global events, though, you're exceptionally good. You're a different beast. So what is it about these global events that really lets you perform in that way?
Well, I don't know. I guess it's just like because VCT Master or like Champion, I think has my biggest goal so far that I want to like achieve really hard to get the trophy. So I know that I need to do my best to do this. So yeah.
Fueled by the dream. Love it. Good luck.
I mean, Forsaken really growing into that IGL role now. But Mitch, show us also what the MVP of Pacific, something, managed to do in his opening game.
Yeah, I think this is actually a great point. We're going to go into a little telestrator bit now and talk about PRX against XLG round 16. And keep in mind, in the previous round, we had actually seen Forsaken go for a super late flank all the way around and end up going down way too late. Like, he got to the site, the round was already over, they'd been disrupted. The last thing XLG expected was to see this same attempt from PRX. Remember, they're playing this map without a Sentinel, and you're going to see them start out with a Yoru flash here and a Raze ult fired through towards Bathroom, using a lot of this cover. I think there's a snake bite here too, which is a lot of their utility burned up early, but it gets them the space in the plant. The thing that's interesting though is the second that flash is thrown, this teleport takes place, as now something becomes that Sentinel utility. He's the one locking down their flank as they go for the plant. A little bit of a disruption attempt from Raga, but unfortunately they end up pushing them back with the mosh.
Sure.
Now this is where things get interesting. Again, we see utility being burned up. We see a Molotov thrown through here to allow for the plant, a nade going deep towards the spawn, towards the corner that's going to catch Rarga. And all the while, they're not seeing anybody on the flank. They're seeing utility be thrown through. You have the flash come out from Coconut in a moment, confirming that this is all going to be a play for the A side. They're attempting and setting up for the retake and their disrupt. So we have this flank continue from something. The benefit of this comp for a lot of people that PRX are running is going to be the fact that you have
Gimana ya
so
Om,
much
tim
utility
CN4
for that
pada
post
gak betah
plant.
kayak di Paris supaya cepat pulang semua. Iya anjir, tim Cina gak ada yang menang, 0 menangnya, kocak.
Everything is gone. They've just
Gimana
gotten
tuh
the
mal?
space and they use the fall back. And this is the point that you were making, Tom, about how
Seandainya kemarin RRQ menang, guys, smooth banget Pacific anjir. Pacific on top.
They're disruptive. Here comes something on the flank, as the whole idea from XLG is, okay, they got the plant, but they've burned their utility. We're going to take that space back, put the dog through, use the thrash to reconfirm the space, execute deep into their line, get ahead of whatever utility they might have left, get ahead of those post-plant positions, and something ends up with the easiest flank of his life, just locking down that double. The round's
Enak
already
banget
over.
itu something.
Happy Way is just completely screwed with no time up against 4. And this is the problem. They lost a round because of playing a late flank, and PRX's response was to play a late flank in the next round, like to just do it again. They were disrespecting XLG, who had no idea what was going on in their backlines till it was too late.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to
Katanya PRX nge-hire Mini, mantan coach Fnatic, buat bantu strat event. Oh ya? Serius? RRQ Royal raja terakhir mau gimana lagi? Iya sih, bad luck banget, bad luck. Udah pulang aja semua langsung beli satu pesawat sampai bandara, aku sliding sliding, buset. Sliding sliding Kamal.
And all of that comes down to, I think, some of the individual players having very good initiative of like when to hit those timings, when to take that space, and then also just the mid-round calling in general. Like the rest of the team is happy to sit back when you said they don't have that post-plant utility because they know that flank is coming and we don't want to make a mistake that gives up the round.
And I hope to God that, you know, Pips and Waylander Cloud, they know what they could expect. They can be a little bit more diligent with this. But it's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier we asked who you think is the best Abyss team at Champs, and you guys are trolling because you voted for Fnatic.
We should have just added Boaster as an option. They have his own option.
I think this is a little bit, I think it's the fans just liking Boaster.
And the thing is, I look at DRX and their comp and I say, they're going to do this in every game. This is going to be difficult for any team to play against. Do I think Boaster's going to hit that level in every game they play?
Yes.
Absolutely. EMEA all the way, baby. Fnatic in the finals. I can't wait.
But I do think that we.
Orang jadi dapat jersey RRQ kah? Jadi tapi belum dikirim. Gue udah ditanya size-nya, alamatnya. Lagi diproses dulu. Kayaknya gue bakal dapat jersey yang custom name deh. Jadi belakangnya Corneval. Soalnya gue ditanya mau nickname-nya apa. Gue kasih Corneval. Kayaknya gue dikasih yang custom jersey deh.
I was going back and forth. What do I do? What do I do? I ended
Mini
up going
FNS tarik semua di kontak. Serius.
But if it was GX
Oh, dari mana, Vin?
else, maybe not EDG, but
Iya, Mini bikin defense PRX bagus jadinya menang Master Toronto. Oh gitu, anjir gokil juga. Dari sebelum Toronto nge-hire-nya makanya bisa menang Master juga, ada kredit ke Mini. Oh iya, nge-hire sampai sekarang kah? Masa sih? Jay, welcome back to Definition Silver. Serius loh. Tak ada guys. Di sini tak ada guys, staffnya guys.
I sacrificed one of my pick'ems intentionally.
Yeah, NRG. I think we both. Where did you go for NRG? You didn't go DRX, right?
I didn't go DRX.
Why
no.
did you go NRG?
I think NRG have a better map pool to fall back on, and DRX right now, like they showed a lot of promise, but I'm not fully bought in just yet.
Again, that was like a bit of a.
Jadi main nggak nih bang? Jadi dong. Oh, part time doang. FNS pensiun buat jadi fan PRX nomor 1 aja. Tarik lah sampai mati di Sentinel, bro. Kok sekarang Mini udah gak ada juga sih guys di Fnatic? Udah bukan juga dia ya? Gua pikir Mini masih jadi asisten coach loh. Ternyata udah mundur dia ya.
I was like, NRG, I like what you're doing. I like the style.
I like the Doden. What about a Troden? I think
a Troden could work.
A Doden is like fine, you know, 2 Odins, you know, you got my
Cuma
attention.
dikasih tahu lewat VOD doang. Oh, dikasih tahu di mana sih?
What is stopping you running 3 Odins?
What's that?
Di video YouTube kah?
Yeah, Croden.
No, that's too far, Tom. All right,
sorry, that's ridiculous.
I think you're taking the mickey now.
They need one outlaw as well.
Need an outlaw and a judge. Come on.
Yeah, I also think being sort of living in a scenario where on the first day of qualification, the 2 teams we sent to playoffs could potentially be NRG and GiantX is insane. I definitely couldn't have seen that coming. I don't know about you guys.
Especially, for GX, if you did, you're kind of mad because they've never made it to playoffs before. So it could be their first time ever, and I'm very excited to see if that's true.
Me too. The doors to Champions playoff stands half open, but will it be PRX,
YouTube Mini bahas PRX
or NRG who push through and take the next step to the trophy? It is time to find out.
Ini channelnya apa coy? Ini kah? Follow VOD ini kah? After Grand Final interview, Alex bilang, "Thanks to Victoria for helping me contact Mini and other player streamer." Oh. I see. Jadi mereka ini oke.
Feels good to be here. Definitely feel like we all.
Oh, suara Bang Devin bidangnya sakit lagi aku plankton. Ini coach atau coach Mini? Coba.
We have the first match jitters out the way. You'll see an even stronger energy.
We're just coming into this tournament.
Oh ini.
Like underdog feeling.
Lagi nobar nih. Dia lagi nobar nih, gue liat-liat nih. PRX versus Fnatic VOD review ini ya. Ini lagi live streaming anjay. Gokil.
All 7 of us follow our protocols. Everyday grinding is just meant for this moment. So as long as we don't crumble under the pressure.
J, thank you 5 gifted J, terima kasih banyak. Double in the chat buat J, terima kasih banyak J. Kamsahamnida. Wih, Kumel dapet. Gokil.
I'm starting to feel like the same feeling that when we won kickoff. So I think if you just keep on going, then we will be able to win out.
Champion for me, this is the moment when you come here and you know that you will face one best of the best.
Kata Mini dia mau ditarik sama PRX, tapi masih pikir-pikir dulu. Oh gitu. Woi gokil sih kalau Mini bareng sama Alex sih. Gokil bro. Cuma kalau Mini sama Alex, apakah Alex tetap head coach atau Alex turun?
Give us a lot of confidence since we won our first trophy in Toronto.
PRX, your masters, Toronto champion.
We still have a lot of drive to win champions.
PRX, we play many games like this, super aggressive, super fast, the double duelist. So we are kind of prepared for this, and I think it's gonna be a good game.
EMEA overall as a region, they are quite methodic and quite structured, the way how they're playing. I'm trying to adjust myself, how I wanna be aggressive versus them and what timings I wanna push and stuff I wanna pick.
We have nothing to lose because we are gonna be probably 100% underdogs, right? If they will start losing against us, they will start to feel some pressure on them, because how can you lose to team that have 3 rookies?
Since we are PRX and we are in good form, good luck on the server, of course we're gonna need it.
Asik Bang Something, Bang Ilya. Gokil kau Bang Ilya. Gila. Pixie nih mah. Setelah aku pas di Toronto juga tensi kayak dia fans pada datang ke base PRX sebelum final. Oh iya. Base PRX di mana? Singapura. Mirip Joko tadi. Ya Allah, Davai mirip Joko, sayang. Orang Malaysia itu Filipin.
Qualification to playoffs, a chance is
Base
on the
mereka pasti
line,
Toronto.
That everybody expected to be here versus the team I don't think anyone expected to be here. But you heard it in that trailer. GX, they're hungry.
Yeah.
They know they are the rookies, and sometimes being the underdog, at least for them so far, has been a massive benefit.
Realistically, we didn't even expect them to make the event. They made a run in the first place. Now they got to try and do it again. I don't think we're getting anything too crazy surprising. Both teams good at the sunset. I'm praying we get to that on the third map. Ascendo's a bit of an interesting one because we saw some recent change coming out of the side of PaperX, and they kind of dominated versus RRQ. It's a weak map for them overall and a pretty decent one for GX, but I wouldn't say that map is set in stone.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think Ascent's going to be really interesting. The Vice against this Cypher is a conversation that I think a lot of people are having right now. The stopping power of Vice just looks so difficult to deal with. But on GX's side, bringing the Cypher into play, they've got that KO to potentially take out some of that utility when they move towards sites. And I think that brings a big advantage compared to what PaperX are running in the Sage. The difference is, this is PaperX we're talking about.
Do you think they're going to bring that comp again? Because they do. I just want to make it known for the global fans that don't, watch necessarily.
Okay.
That is their comp. Maybe some other teams have shown it since then, or they showed it first on the global stage, but we saw PaperX do it in Pacific. Will they carry this comp on here?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think especially when it's Jing pulling out that Sage, I feel like it's a very comfortable pick for him. It does mean that going into the map, I'm expecting it to be incredibly defense-sided. Like, both teams have shown that is where they are favored. And with, on the other side, GX playing that sort of more default comp, I think it's going to be very interesting. The other thing as well is the Lotus choice that has come out. All of the last few months, 9-2. Those 2 losses were in the last 2 games.
Wait, let me check.
RRQ and then Zeta, which I think every single
udah tutup. Pas dia mau bet ke akhir nih. Gua buka betnya sampai mereka mulai main ya. Gua buka betnya sampai mereka mulai main. Woi, yang bet GX cuma 2 orang. Cuma 4 orang loh, guys.
Lotus is coming. I'm
Tuh,
most excited
yang mau
for
betting
something.
silakan yang mau betting.
Maybe it's me coping, but I think that is an even playground for both
Ya,
teams.
thumbnail curse kemarin sih dari 8 pertandingan cuma salah 1. Nah, makanya nih. Maka ini kan jadi kesalahan kedua thumbnail Valorant YouTube.
I hope we get to a map 3 because we deserve it in this series. GX have played almost double.
Jangan map 3 anjir, gue sakit. 2 map aja biar gue bisa nonton yang pertama, babi.
They've come into this tournament, they look more individually dominant than we've seen throughout the regular season, and week on week they've been playing better Valorant. I think this is going to be a challenge for PaperX, but more so I look to GX, I look to Ara, a guy who started out the season on a low point. He has really built on that every single game, but this is the one game that he cannot go missing in.
Yeah, let's take a look at Agent Select here. My eyes actually go towards Flickless because I truly believe he is a phenomenal KO player.
He was going to be my highlight coming into this map because I think that he has some of the best supportive flashes, even if his team memes them sometime. But also the timing of the knife, especially on that defensive side, is going to be integral. Starting off on the attack, though, a lot of the focal point does come also onto Ara. Like, is this guy going to be set up to be in that space? And so that combo of Flickless and Ara need to be on point, especially with the sheer amount of delay the PaperX have. You need some of that utility removed. If you're hitting a site and it's all online, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're coming into a game and looking at Flickless and saying, well, his utility's got to be on point, that's a pretty safe bet. The guy was unbelievable. For me, at least, just at an eye test, I'm not using stats or anything, just watching the damn game. Flickless, I think, is the best utility in all of the MEA.
Yeah, and more importantly, the age-old question. What's better, a dinosaur or a giant? Here's Uber and Wyatt to answer that.
Dinosaur.
Sure, yeah, one of the more compelling questions. Keeps me up at night.
Komenya sama ya tadi ya, gue gak ngeliat lagi anjir. Mirror com kah mereka? Oh enggak, beda. Ada Vice, Davai sebelah pakai Cypher. Yoru lawan Jet. Double Initiator mereka. Double Sentinel ya salah. Double Sentinel lawan Double Initiator. Mari kita lihat siapa pemenangnya. Double Initiator atau Double Sentinel adik-adik. Info kejuaraan Climax kemana dapatnya yang barunya? Dapat siang. Gua dapet yang custom lagi dibikinin dulu katanya. What? What the heck?
Cloud and Westside trembling hands to pick up the pieces. Yeah, something pretty much just continuing the reign of terror that he has been on throughout Stage 2 until now, and one of the absolute peaks of his career at the moment. Forsaken caught getting a tad bit
gila, Bang Ilya.
in mid, so the tiniest of openings for GX. The PRX are ready to just
Bang Ilya
get an ace.
Ace.
Just like Bambi. Oh, look at what he came for. Pistol round ace for something. And PRX start out with a very nice little burst of confidence. And this is why PRX can get away with some ridiculous stuff, Wyatt. They have this
Baru game ronde 1 udah ace. Baru ronde 1 udah ace.
They're all capable of this, but genuinely though, yeah, something's form at the moment has just been utterly out.
Baru ronde 1. Bang Ilya pelan-pelan Bang Ilya.
Career high at the perfect time right now heading into champions.
That 1v2 clutch with the off on.
Ace kedua anjir. Dua-duanya Ilya kan ya? Something 2 kali ace ya?
The judge, that 0 point connects onto a
gila tiap match. Ya Allah.
Still having a fight for a spot. Patman having trouble digging him out of Switcher.
Yeah, that was some pretty solid util actually from GX to get back in. 0 point into the paranoia. Couple kills. They're going to get the spike down. The low HP.
Ilya ini ace mulu aja. Dikasih sih emang sama timnya sih.
Pretty isolated there, Flickless. Without an opportunity to actually get involved, and now that will make it difficult for him to work his way back out. Defuse here for PRX, and important weapons will be maintained.
Ya kalau di partian kode udah diambil tuh gagal ace. Iya anjir. Partian gua mah kayak tai semua. Gak boleh ace. Bukannya dikasih ace malah gak boleh ace. Pepe emang.
Nice that something goes down to 1 HP, but then gets a heal with Jing, so he can just go run it Flickless with a judge. Go for part 2.
Ini kayak Joko ya, baby. Ini kayak Joko, baby. Bang Dapai kayak Joko katanya guys, kata cewek gua.
11 rounds to go for PRX. This is such a challenge for GX. I mean, they're off the back right now of the biggest win of the career
sama Ilya pada kasih.
in these players.
Beda kalau Jason sama JJ pasti rebutan. Kalau JJ sama Jason mah emang nge-throw aja, saling nge-throw mereka tuh.
By the level of play they were at. PRX, whole different beast though.
But they have to fight PRX for this space, Wyatt. They've got great set plays, they're really well drilled. That's something that stands them in good stead to tip the scales in their favor.
Device able to throw down a pretty deep shear wall in B main. And when you're not feeling that pressure, you can kind of just go for the jump with it, throw it down deep, and then back away. PRX are doubled up here on Cat, and something still with the judge.
Nice banget Bang Something, Bang Ilya.
From Jing, he was just kind of tapping, trying to make a little bit of a distraction.
Slow start here for GX. Now they've sort of decelerated through mid a little bit with an out drone, this time clearing market. They do not want to run into
beda Bang Dapai ada ayangnya, Bang Joko gak ada. Iya lagi.
Ara sees an opportunity to come forward, but actually backs out of it. Devin knocks him down to 20 as well from Switch.
That is a lot of damage exchanged. Gravino does have that full kit available at the moment, Paranoia, so the team could try to get into tree, but I'm not even sure they're aware they're walled off until they're going to get much closer here. Wall about to break, though. 3 PRX players expecting this to come through, though.
They're going to fight out of this.
What a setup.
Wajir.
Paranoia thrown out. Jing's able to capitalize. Ara very low. Strong
bonus round pun menang, cu.
More than just hot air.
Bonus round pun menang. Ya Allah, GiantX ini ditibek-tibek di muka pakai pantat coy.
Only option at this point in the round. The way that PRX maneuvered the map there was so lovely. Late into that round,
Jing pakai Sage. Iya, Jing kan kalau gak race Sage guys.
Close up in B main, the rest of the players on that sort of B mid side, they pivot over towards tree. Reading that GX, we're going to try to go for an A split when that wall expires. As soon as they start making noise there were 3 PRX players ready to go. Paranoia, and then initially it's just the run and gun from Jing. Patman able to trade off, swinging with the Phantom.
Gokil.
Really lovely round for PRX. They convert the bonus.
This team surrendered only 1 defense side round over to RRQ in that Pacific
Pembantaian guys, ini mah guys.
They were so dominant on this defense side. Some wine position taken up this time by Forsaken. Again, PRX ready to fight for this space.
And the second GX activate, they could get hit by slow orbs from Jing. Yep, that one's gonna go down, but Aura gets ahead of it. Lovely Paranoia again.
Nice blind.
Good util setup for
nice
GX.
blind, nice blind.
Unfortunately, it's just come on eco round so far.
Blown out first. Jing flattened by west side. Always good with the Sheriff, and now into the site. GX are swarming over it.
That was just alert to cat, I believe. Something stops the plant though. Very low on HP, a lot of danger. He's got to back up just a bit.
Oh, Batman anjir.
Does not allow further passage. Are able to hold it down here from A main and look
Something
at this
mau
round
ngeflank.
Look at the gate crashes.
Something mau ngeflank, bro.
So quickly. I do not think Cloud is going to expect this.
Gila cepet banget udah sampai sini anjir.
He was just checking
Bang Ilya.
It was a late flank. Now though, he stepped up.
Wah. Kalau dia nunggu sampai ngeplan aja tuh.
Massive thrifty here for GX.
Gila.
PRX were trying to show some of that aggression towards A main. The slow from Jing came a little bit too late.
Gokil.
And a couple rounds now, we have seen Grabino throw out a Paranoia.
Gokil.
It happened on just round 2 eco, so they weren't able to convert. They didn't have the weapons. But here, Aura had a hero rifle, so he gets in.
Ngeri pisan,
First, west side flanks through Cat, gets that pick. Super well done.
Kode penaflu lagi ya, iya Crystal.
Sheriff in hand. That was something showcased extensively against Sentinels. PRX falter slightly.
Menang bonus karena thrifty gak sembuh-sembuh.
Money such that though
iya lagi ya. Kocak.
Make a buy. So they can eventually stave off a mid with 4 players.
Gara-gara Jason tadi itu.
Taking up shop.
He's picked up the op. Oh my god, west side. Those are the kind of shots he hits with some crazy consistency. Just the good crosshair placement, fast reaction shots.
And he didn't have to be firing against Sentinels. The rest of his team were doing so well, but now it's a great opportunity to step up and show that individual skill. Shorty here for Ara. Inside the smoke, and it does its job. Forsaken is dealt with now quickly, trying to double back around to the side. Digging out that last defender. Devin in the corner. Only going to be able to find his one. Patman kept off the fight with that smoke towards defender spawn.
And now that remaining PRX duo, they're just forced to save. GX have really played with a lot of high tempo early round on these last couple, and it has paid off. It's resulted in early picks. Something going for that aggro play in B main, immediately dealt with. And then the exec onto the site really accelerated. Aura beats the timing into the smoke. The Device just left inside alone, overwhelmed. GX have done a nice job catching out PRX early.
Just well set up. I think Grabino was a player we definitely want to highlight here early. 4 assists to his name. Paranoia setups though have been excellent. Now PRX got to be a bit more respectful off the rip here. That was a early presence by Forsaken over towards Catwalk that was punished. There was some spam through, and then a push off of that B side.
Look at, I mean, something barely even got around the corner before being hit by that. Aura beats the timing for Forsaken into the smoke. I like that from him. It's a calculated risk. Pays off.
There are similarities between how these two teams played the defense side. I think GX almost see a reflection of themselves in some of these info pushes and this proactivity from PRX.
So PRX investing into this round a fair bit around the 2 guns that were saved. Of course, if they lose, they'll have that 3-round max out loss.
Mulai guys,
something picks up
gue pikir ngelawak Giant ini.
And they have the Hunter's Fury to combo with it, so that could be very potent if used at the right time. Getting Hunter's Fury's tags, but then also Chaos popping out with a judge on someone.
PRX insisting on some mid-control with a smoke at tiles that just gets walked up through by GX. They've been able to drift over towards that catwalk position, but now 2 players taken up in tree. Let's see if they can play back towards the site a little bit more, but once more, we're going to see PRX fight if there is a push off catwalk. Refresh that one way at A main.
Semuanya lewat A main. Tidak ada yang lewat garden.
But GX are unperturbed so far.
Lewat Elong semua, tidak ada yang lewat A-short tadi ya.
Have a drone from Cloud that could be used to clear through it. Yeah, that is going to be the maneuver, and now Paranoia immediately going to at least stall GX up. Something getting close with this Judge right into main.
Ara has to be mindful of this. Check close is going to be important.
Nice banget.
Comes in, but something just steps back.
Nice banget. Wah, Didi kamu something babi.
Cloud now with Hunter's Fury forsaken, avoiding for the time being. Does get pinged out by that second shot. Goes low, it doesn't matter. He handles
Anjir, Forsaken tetap bisa ngebunuh. What?
Now that tree control is there for PRX. GX though crossing on the site. They got Gen presence. Patman got an owl in. Spots that A main player.
Cloud crossing to wine. Door went down at the perfect time. No one for PRX having the opportunity to flood in because of it. But now with the man
4v3 tapi senjatanya kurang mensupport sih.
Has to close the gap with the Judge at some point. There's one Sheriff. Weaponry better for GX.
But just has a room to clear the dart, but they know he's there. It doesn't seem to matter. Here is the Null Command that comes out. And Jing, they have to fight through it. There's no other choice for it. From upper, West Side finds yet another. It's on Jing. Suppressed, knows Cloud is likely in A main and sends his crosshair in that direction. Drops down, tries to isolate the 1 versus 1s.
Terlalu atas gara-gara dia kontrol.
And GX have even up the game.
So difficult to get a kill on the drop like that. Lovely shooting from Flickless.
Udah minum obat Zio, udah. Ini ntar malam aku mau minum Neosep lagi nih. Neosep Forte. Tapi kan ngantuk, jadi gue minum ntar aja. Main PRX kelar gue minum.
Then he just feels pressured. Oh, I gotta do something. Goes into the open, he's scrambling. Gets shot down, and then again it's GX. They pick up the pace nicely after that.
Pinging out 2 players of that Hunter's Fury was pretty big. I think Forsaken ate the second and third bolts from it.
I mean, yeah, if Forsaken gets that crazy kill in the smoke, because it was just such a chaotic situation for Grabino to try to figure out. But yeah, he took so much damage. GX set up well in the post flank.
PRX always trying to
jangan lupa guys, do not forget.
To have like at least decent numbers.
Agus Blaze, welcome back to Definition Silver. Do not forget untuk membeli baju perks di Shopee. Lagi diskon gede-gedean. Gokil banget dah. Ya Ziang, terima kasih. Doain aku cepat sembuh teman-teman ya. Aku pun tagih sakit seperti ini, cok. Kesel banget aku, cok.
And it pays off for GX. Hard for attack side rounds one, even things up.
Yeah, and PRX, they did make a pretty big investment into that last round, right? So they can get a meager bit of a half buy going. Looks like something not going to commit any cash here, so you can buy the operator on this subsequent round.
Yeah, it's truly been PRX's year so far. The only thing they're missing, of course, is the cherry on top. Global title, all well and good. They're looking for that Pacific World Championship. It's on the table here. This is the kind of matchup they need to kind of be dominating to give that level of confidence. Remember, the winner in this series will advance to playoffs.
PRX just hoping that someone early would have gone over towards B, walked into that multi-stack of players, and it looks like now if they get a ping with this drone, they might just swing out with a few from mid.
It's going to be flash dart here to follow it up. There's a lot for GX to deal with. Their hands are kind of tied in mid, and now the push is going to come up. But Cloud, comfortable enough from Catwalk, is ready to receive this, and I think PRX have overestimated the level of disruption they've been able to induce. Divine Forsaken. They take a classic gamble up mid, bit of a Chico vibe.
It was a cool play attempt, syncing up that Paranoia, plus the flash from Yoru, plus the recon. After confirming information on a player mid with the drone. Not mad at the play. Cool attempt, but yeah, ultimately GX just have way better guns.
Cloud also had turned the flash and someone else shot the dart.
Lagi buang round doang ini PRX, guys.
Had his crosshair position correctly and was ready to fight.
Paling nggak bisa itu ngumpul di mid. Di mid mah di EW aja.
Wall has to be respected. That will be drawn out now. Gets West Side at least over to logs.
Anchoring pretty deep in the site now, all alone, and
Team Ace.
clean, flawless round from GX. Come on, baby. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I was the only one. After those first 3 rounds, when PRX converted the bonus, I was worried. I was worried that they were going to begin to run away with the game. But then GX eco them back. 4-round run.
Baru juga dipuji Ace, tenang guys. It's not PRX kalau mereka tuh menang bantai-bantai.
Mentally overwhelmed. Calm down. Listen to me because now you're overwhelmed.
We don't really feel pressure.
Listen to me.
GX.
Okay, boys.
People didn't even think we were going to be here. We're going up against the best team in the world. Reigning champions of Tomahawk. We don't have any pressure. We're a huge underdog.
Trying to hold close here. It's going to be a
Alek
steal
Kamuk udah biasa guys. Udah jadi santapan para bocil.
Somehow Cloud is all the way back there. What a wrap here for Forsaken.
Nice.
He obviously gets himself in a position now to harry them from defense spawn. From the attack side even. And so
Nice.
Robinho never really got to set foot on this B site at all.
What a crazy counterplay from Forsaken to just disrupt the plans of GX entirely. I mean, look at the X's on the map right now.
Tuh kan, comeback guys, comeback, tenang. Everybody chill.
It's like we used to see Jing do on Icebox. Same idea, right? That TP into spawn. Smoke assisted though on Icebox in fairness. This guy just rips it. Love that from Forsaken. And on the other end, right, it's a skill guard and that definitely slows GX up. So it puts them on a real clock when there's an Omen player teleporting into this
just pushes them into Forsaken. That was a crazy little scenario.
Yeah, like Ara got ahead of it, right, but not in a position to be sort of followed up on it all. It was a PRX round of all rounds, for sure. Robinho loves that spot. So does Boaster, by the way. That little TP on the box of top mid.
3.
Nothing to be gained from there right now.
Oke, mereka bakal ketemu ini. Midnya bakal ketemu itu. Something. Dan Ara. Kita lihat apakah Ara cukup sabar atau dia akan ngepick.
Currently setting up for a split into this B site. Patman ready to let that recon go once they
Oke, mereka dengar drone di B.
So they can try to spam some of these players down from back site through boathouse.
Wah.
Dirty, Ara's so close.
Gak sabar something.
Mid, or rather PRX don't see GX as they pull out of that part of the map and leave the
Timing emang timing, bro.
back in the game, and Ara might have something to say about it, but the slow orb meant there's no direct follow-up on that res attempt. It's Cloud falling, Divine getting control from stairs. Caught inside the fragment, and Gravino's got the follow-up now. Patman has to fight for himself inside Boathouse.
Oh, nice banget.
Still gets the kill. And now Drift is
udah
going
nice
to get
banget
something
itu.
into the site, but he's holding nothing but an operator. Jing can also work out
3v2, 3v2.
There's Westside. Damn, he's been good today. Very sharp, and Jing should wait a moment. He's got something with him now.
Dengan AWP aja.
Seen this guy retake 1v2 with an op. He's got Jing to help him this time. Flickless watching Speedway, though Jing's going to have to be quick with this adjustment.
Nice
and he
banget.
is. So much so he doesn't take any damage. Westside now under pressure, shot through the wall.
Oh, nice banget.
With the shorty.
Nice flick, something, nice flick.
Round for PRX, but they'll take it.
Nice flick, nice flick.
Oh,
beautiful, beautiful. Untuk Jinx gak ke-wave, bunuh KO-nya ya Lord.
With that shorty, fast with the trade. This was an insane little shot from Aura in the roundup. Look at that from something's point of view. The second he checks that left side, Aura is right out there.
Door.
For me, it's Jing being able to get that correction of aim onto the plant spot.
And having the res available in mid, just bring it right back to the 5-on-5.
Nice.
Negates all of Ara's patience, just staying as that insert in mid.
Super important round to use it. And that was onto something who then has the dimensional drift to follow up into the site.
But that'll condition PRX now. That deep smoke into mid could imply an insert being left behind by GX for later in the round.
Westside with that cam.
Oh, nice banget something. Very nice, very nice. Very nice.
The duelist, the entry, the space maker. When you're trying to hit one of these ascent sites, totally removed. This is going to be really difficult for GX from here on out, especially if they go towards that setup with the Vice. You're just going to get your team fully stalled out by the Thorns. If you go into the Sage, one slow orb, no one can get past it. You're all just trapped. Maybe Gravino can try to go for some kind of crazy TP, but outside of that, not a lot of options.
There's a sheer wall inside tree. Something can play off that after trying to take a pick.
And that did turn off the Vice Util for but a moment, but no one is able to, it's not really a play to be made off of it, unfortunately.
Down mid, look at this double face. Just assembled this in response. That deep smoke's there again, and all
Oh, mati anjir, through the smoke, gokil.
Flickless fortunate to get across. He can play
Oke,
off his player in
Jing dengan ciki-ciki bastard.
There are rotates being drawn from PRX, aside from the fact that
Oh my god, nice banget Jing. Very nice.
That is disgusting. And again, Jing with the crucial frags. Knock the wheels up.
Nice banget, nice surprise.
Had a really cool
Nice
game
surprise.
plan there, honestly.
Nice cheeky spot.
He found a pick. If you looked at the top of the minimap, everyone from PRX
God.
after he got that kill were being dragged towards A.
Gila, itu Batman hoki banget anjir.
Who was fully committed to that site.
30 seconds.
If he goes 1-for-1, Reno's teleporting back. Obviously,
Nice banget itu, nice
still
banget.
a horrific
Lucky
position
shot,
for
lucky
GX,
shot.
But I think they had a cool game plan that is just ultimately unraveled because Jing puts together a really sick multi-kill.
Remember that solo hold for Jing with the wall sets up the double face in mid for that spam kill. So sick.
Wow, Paranoia straight away catches everyone. Slow orb as well. Oh my god, this is miserable.
Doesn't know where to be. Here come the shock darts. This could be
God.
painful. Patman's got another one where that came from. Robinho would love to get up on the corner, but Jing has been felled.
Everyone on GX aside from Westside just damaged up. Hit now two from the spam. They are all so weak. Sold out. Double flash.
But Paranoid to get them on the speedway here. Patman respects it though. Tries to fold away. Forsaken TP out in the open. Apparently Flickless punishes. What is Null Command? This is dangerous here.
2v3 nih.
Patman has to fight out the old
Nice.
way, and that is beautifully done. But Westside will be waiting. Look how low he and Flickless are.
Aduh.
By no means a sure thing for
Aduh.
GX. And it's up to
Bang
Divide to
Dapai.
dig them out. Flickless
Nice, Bang Dapai.
jumps across the side. Westside will be set up on the speedway. Drop down
Oh,
on the side.
nice try.
12 and 8 for
Nice try,
Westside.
nice try.
Yeah, man, he is on one right now. The crosshair placement is just excellent in these fights, and he is so quick with the reactions. By the way, though, beautiful kill from Flickless. That one right there onto Forsaken. The highest impact kill, in the round at that point, opens up the sight. Westside clutches up.
Okay, that's only DEFCON 5 for Alex. We're doing fine. But GX really proactive. Remember, they throw that neural theft in and then immediately Paranoia Speedway. They're very keen to get onto this
And
B
it
side.
was synced up with a flash from the KO. Insta just pop out. That was with all four players so weak, stuck in the choke for ages at that point.
There's
And
just
they
a
still make
symphony
it
of
work.
util lined up. These set plays for GX, man, are so clean.
That's what has really impressed me about them on both attack and defense, on their executes. The sequencing of their util and timings, so tight compared to the competition.
And that contrast with PRX's just innate talent, ability to flood like no other team. A little bit of a difference of styles there. Paranoid, Forsaken, he tries to back away. He actually
Oh,
avoids
nice
the one that
banget,
comes
nice
to
banget.
Jim's
Atas.
direction. Nara now ends up
Atas.
up him.
Nice.
Forsaken to be crouched.
Nice.
Something gets in and
Oh
then gets
my
straight on that.
god.
Like only he does. There's artistry here
Oh
from the
my
Headphone
god.
side.
So
Forsaken's ready to get
nice.
messy on the side itself. Cloud
Oh
barely
my
alive. Jing
god.
puts him out of his misery now.
Something
Look,
nice
Flickless.
banget. Jason nice banget.
Bounce flashed and rolled by something.
Nice TP, nice flash, whatever. That's all nice banget. Wah, PRX lagi nyala banget, coy.
That I wanted to see in the
PRX.
versus GX games. Two teams that are highly coordinated and willing to absolutely send it.
Nice
on the
banget.
opponents.
I mean, PRX are the team that are going to force you. They're going to drag you to pay at that fast pace, right? You will need to compete for timings, fight
Gue
aggressively.
suka banget,
over
mereka
the
gak
space.
greedy
But
guys.
GX are happy to
Mereka
do
gak
that
maksa
because
nge-kill.
they've got such sick
Jason
reps,
pas
such
udah
good
keliat
foundations,
ditembakin
such
rame
size
langsung di
of
flash,
this
dia
map.
TP, justru TP-nya
Let's have a
dia
break here at
malah
halftime, sending over to the
ngebantu
stage.
jetnya,
Standing
ngebunuh
by
jetnya kan.
with a very
Something
special
juga
guest.
malah momentum, bunuh pakai shortnya langsung TP, anjir. Gokil bro. What is this?
Pas mal de fans de GiantX ici à nos côtés. It's a
Gokil.
pleasure to welcome Elise with me, who's a GX fan here. Welcome, first of all. And the first question I wanted to ask you is, you're rocking, that T-shirt and the jersey. How does it feel, to have GX fans here in Paris, despite the French and Spanish rivalry?
It's so cool to see everyone here rooting for GX, and I think you are too, right?
I'm an EMEA girly, but never biased, guys, never biased, of course. Donc, première question, qu'est-ce que ça fait finalement d'avoir des fans français ici, malgré la rivalité Espagne-France? Eh ben, c'est trop cool. On a évidemment l'ambiance ici et on a peut-être une hausse qui est un petit peu biaisée pour l'EMEA, mais jamais trop. And second question, we know that the season has been hard for GX. No one was expecting them, at champs, and yet here they are. So what is your advice for fans, who struggle to follow their team in hard times?
Well, you just have to believe in your team, really. And they had such a great run on stage 2. It was really nice. And seeing them putting up a fight against PRX, it's so nice.
Yes, I definitely agree with you on that. Donc un petit conseil peut-être, c'était dur la saison pour GX, ils sont remontés de loin, et bah oui, il faut continuer de croire en sa team, ils sont remontés pendant le stage 2 et ils ont une vraie belle run, so let's see if the fan
rapi itu entry-nya anjir. Gila, ini loh guys. Itu yang gue bilang soal PRX dari tahun lalu ya. PRX itu tuh mesti ganti playstyle anjir. PRX kalau rapi bagus banget, gila. Mereka sangat layak menjadi juara sih. Sangat amat layak jadi juara.
And this guy, it's a big part of that. I suspect something here to highlight for your Coinbase Econ report at 63.5. Just pure audacity. I think he's 7-0 at the start of the game. He does slow down. He goes, 14-7 after that fact, but obviously always in the engine room for PRX.
And keeping that rating high while purchasing 3 ops as well. That's, I think, kind of the standout part for me.
Halo,
I was
Nat.
getting a lot of value with those late. Some of the shotguns too had some great dimensional drifts, but yeah, something right now looking like the best player for PRX up until this point versus Westside for GX, whose aim
Pangarak lagi ngeluarin kodam.
also just unreal.
Gila, gue suka banget PRX kalau mainnya kayak gini. Paper Boys. Bagus banget mainnya kalau kayak gini tuh, suka banget gue. Ini matchnya segit. GiantX juga bagus mainnya. Tapi PRX bisa sabar gitu loh. Bisa gak W gaming all the time. Ini kayak W gaming controlled gitu loh. Mereka tahu kapan harus W, kapan harus step back buat counter gitu. Bagus banget anjir. Kayak EDG waktu menang Champions ini bagus banget, bro.
Sheriffs on catwalk, that good long range. Matter of fact, they have 4 sheriffs just across the board.
Lo pernah gak lihat Alex lihat Ace Dapai malah gebrak meja? Hah? Kenapa gebrak meja anjir?
So now they'll accelerate now through B main paranoia. Is an option, of course. They get smoked off the B main and just walk straight through it. So TikTok though, GXR got to start nipping at their heels, and G might be the first to see it. He thinks about it. Timing's not quite there for him though. Spotted out already.
Terbokong guys, terbokong. Jing terbokong.
Not a lot of util to work with for PRX, just that one paranoia for Forsaken. Can it get a good connection? Something playing up close, 2 players all the way back.
Razorvine there.
Kelihatan dong.
Wow, something takes a timing off that. What a bold play.
Anjir, something hoki banget, cok. Gara-gara trapnya Vice itu.
In this site, gonna be 3 players come downstairs. Something that can turn his attention along with Forsaken to the rest of it, and that is a 3v5. PRX tucked in the site.
Gila, gue pikir bakal kalah lo 3v5 lo.
Sick play from something.
Something, something cakep banget anjing. Something cakep banget lu.
So he knows that that player's crosshair going to be down.
Ada permen batuk gak bang? Ada nih.
Right in our space. Really cool maneuver to get them back into that 3-on-3.
Gila. Gokil banget,
It's unspoken. It's purely instinctive.
From
PRX
gokil.
Like the idea from GX to
gue pikir kalah loh, itu 3 lawan 5 loh. Ternyata samping Batman, wah samping Batman Jason bro. Something Batman Forsaken ini SPF jing. SPF udah kayak sunscreen deh, SPF 15 yuk. Tuh kan, bagus kan mainnya kan, mereka gak greedy. Something mundur TP, woi. Bagus itu mainnya tuh.
Didn't expect Rubinho with Flickless baiting for that position, but even still, things traded out. What a shot again from Aura. Oh my God, GX, what on earth is happening? They're just winning straight up duels, hitting crazy shots with pistols.
He realizes he needs to put this Vandal to work on the site itself for a retake, and he's just got around the corner.
Waduh, wow. Dafai, Abang Malai, kenapa nih, Abang Malai?
You gotta win
that. Ya Allah.
That is unreal. I cannot believe GX are winning these fights though. Still, Forsaken, long range, open angle with the Bulldog. These guys have a combined 50 HP.
30 and 20 respectively.
Oh, yeah.
What on earth is that from
What the hell?
What a filthy round from GX, man. Thrifty. Proactive always asking for more.
Gila, jago banget, pedes banget aiming coy. Hari-hari kalah Thrifty.
I am just stunned. I didn't see that from Westside's point of view. What was that? I mean, he must have seen Forsaken's legs under the smoke or something. Well, I mean,
Sharon Ola live lomba Tarik kemarin, Tarik bilang PRX timnya gak adil. Mereka berasa main Valo tuh gampang.
Westside is it feels like he's just playing.
Yeah, shoulder leg.
Kemungkinan terburuk PRX kepreset sama siapa bang? What the fuck tuh? Lihat tuh Alex tuh. Alex udah marah tuh. What the fuck? How the fuck did you lose, Davai? How the fuck did you lose with classic from mid, top mid to mid? What the fuck? I will not give you chicken green curry. MGX ngeri coy.
That has definitely put PRX off their lunch.
Aura has pressed all the way down mid to watch this B main cross with the Outlaw. Something, does he expect it? Does he go for a little jiggle? No, he is just caught out in the open. Aura smoking that angle off. The cam is watching top cat for him as well.
Aura can be dug out here by Cloud. He can very easily support him through mid.
Or rather, I think that might have just been a ping from the drone. Either way, he did have
2v5, gak apa-apa.
to keep eyes on top cat while Aura was in this very forward position, which he's just retaining, by the way. But he'll have that support. Here's Flickless.
I'm going to recheck this. So said Aura, pop flash for his duelist.
Damn.
Flickless though, put this one to bed.
And the two major things that PRX are going to have to overcome to win this out on attack, I feel, when you're playing against GX on defense, is their willingness to aggress, throw set plays at you. We've already seen on attack the way that they're able to sync up their flashes really well. PRX will have to contend with that, and they'll have to contend with Aura always going for the scoped weapons, being very proficient with them. And then if you're trying to avoid those, you're going into Westside Sight, who is just not an actual Cypher one-trick, but plays Cypher as much as he possibly can because he's so good on the agent, so strong at anchoring. That is going to be the test for PRX.
Already audacious early posturing from Aura up mid. Wanting to claim this space, and no one from PRX looking to challenge top mid themselves. They play to the externalities of the map.
Westside has pushed up quite far into B main, can just play this angle, try to get a headshot tap, run away back to that Cypher setup. They chase, it's really close for him. Take some damage, definitely needs to be on the run. Do PRX try to accelerate to actually catch him going to backside? There are trips close on this choke. One of them just procced by that clone, destroyed by a shock afterwards.
Taking, able to bring Westside down eventually. I think he was concerned about a push up into his other tripwire. Couldn't play off it.
Something gets backside very quick off that teleport. And now GX having to play a 4-on-5 retake, make that 3-on-4.
Spike planted.
Aura turns up with the operator. It's more than Forsaken can handle.
PRX had to buy very late coming through B main. I think he'll potentially be this critical factor.
Apakah Davai akan nge-flank?
Go for the retake.
It's being smoked for. GX trying to cover that at least. Now making away towards switch. It's actually something back in the side. Got picked up. What a flash. What a setup for Flickless. And Ara's got himself a rifle to work with now.
Davai.
About to be swarmed.
Davai.
Finds the first. That was the Blade Storm now down for Ara. Divide to the rescue off a good timing out of B main. Gets the Speedway. Flickless now has the
Oji. Davai. Davai. Mainin Davai. Oh. Oh, nice banget Bang Davai.
Out of the game. But man, that was as close as it gets. There
nice banget Bang Davai.
PRX here. GX fighting tooth and nail.
Robinho had gotten it to half.
Cosplay Alec, guys.
Over the top, done that on the pistol round. This time catches out that very low HP West Side, trying to retreat back. Sight. Good attempt, and I like this well. Once GX get a couple kills here, they realize, okay, one of these guys is going to be late B main. We just have to get the site ASAP. Go forward. But then Patman
just run out of time.
Yeah, Patman does a good job there, but
NRG atau DRX lah.
Closes things out. Pretty sick round.
Still a buy for GX though. These have been very, very costly. Attack side wins for PRX. Costly as they've been though. 2-round lead that's secured themselves after. Yeah, very weird start.
Iya, aja Coach Alec itu, gue bilang dari dulu, Alec itu menang ronde gak bukan segalanya. Kalau lu menang ronde tapi menangnya itu beruntung, dia marah. Kalau lu kalah tapi lu rapi, dia nggak apa-apa. Jadi dia tuh mentingin strateginya dibandingin ininya loh, dibandingin hasil. Ya, berapa kali PRX tuh menang tapi menangnya menang berantakan gitu loh.
Need this spike recovered, but Ara's not going to leave that area for free.
Both GX players on the way. No way, Aris is looking over top. Is that it? Yeah, he's got the angle. Patman goes down. It's all on Davai in the clutch.
Bang Davai.
One of that last round, but this one.
Bang Davai.
Surely not, right? Too many GX players alive.
Look
Bang
at them starting to
dapai.
approach now, especially behind this Al drone. Ara knows he can probably play off that. Arc Rose for Divide doesn't get him enough equity
NB.
in the 1 versus 3. And step by step, GX are staying alongside PRX in this race.
Are getting some very, very high impact moments in this second half. He has been on point, rookie debut at a global event, kill leader in EMEA Stage 2 for a reason. Up to 16, now tied with something at the top of the board. And as I mentioned, that round economy was tragic for both teams, of the utmost importance that either of them had taken on. Now GX have a real opportunity to tie up this game at 9. They just have to handle a PRX eco, couple sheriffs, something, divide with the 2 of them.
Trying to apply a pocket for themselves so that smoke forward in B main by the attackers. 0 point only spots out the Sage here.
Something going to keep control of B main.
See Jing happy to make noise as he runs away from B main.
Nice on this eco round though that PRX do get access to the orbs across the map, can round the world it. When we get to the next buy, they're going to have likely 4 ultimates. I mean, pretty much guaranteed Divide will at some point get a kill, go down. Either way, we'll have the Steel Garden.
GX have seen enough though to stack correctly for this eco push off PRX. A Ghost and a Sheriff's all they really got to work with now, so this Outlaw should feast. Ara gets his, Grobinho happy to stand on the site and fight, but he's down by the Ghost player. Jing though now has his hands full to play out from Tree. Flickless
Waduh.
belatedly brings him down. Something
Berantakan gini.
to the side, but that Spike still loose out in main. And Flickless has no reason to leave that fairly passive position. They had a good hold. Crosshair placement broken. And so is the lead of PRX.
So they get those orbs, they get
Walawe,
ready to go. A bit of damage could have been nice, given the GX economy is not off the ground just yet. And if they kept it honest and win this next round, they could have gotten control of the game back. But hey, even still, they'll be happy to just get to this gun round with the ults they've got. Timeout called from Alex now. Cooking up the game plan with them to ensure that they win this critical round.
Yeah, this gun round is everything for PRX, and they've invested in it, of course, getting those orbs earlier on in their eco. All but the Hunter's Fury at the ready. That means, of course, Dimensional Drift, there's a res there if needed, and a Steel Garden for these side hits. It's a big point of contention, I think, between the Cypher and Vice choice on this particular map. And you can see that frustration here for Alex, because PRX are being disrupted frequently by GX. They are very fluid on the defense side. You watch them, they look like a kicked anthill, even early in the round. Always repositioning, always establishing control of the map, re-clearing in 2s and 3s, just drifting back and forth. Tough for PRX to put their thumb on them, and honestly, GX are stalling well enough to make sure they've got a decent shot at these holes, right? They don't want to play off sites for post parts. They want to get in an anchor and they want to throw down. Bloody hell, I mean, Grobinho sat inside Jing's smoke that he tries to, or rather Forsaken smoke that he tries to TP into. These guys are not giving any ground.
Uses that as his own smoke, basically. All right, what is the plan here for GX with a few players towards mid? They've been doubling up Grobinho, Flickless towards Cat early round a lot. Do they try to go for something proactive on a round where they know
Fitur full screen tapi ada chatnya hanya di beberapa channel ya. Apa di YouTube maksudnya? Gak tahu. Emang gua ada chat ya.
They walked into it. This is not the first time we've seen this push up in the mid for GX.
Grobinho can say
GiantX ini gambit, bukan.
Whenever he wants. Yeah, he's just going to do that after the first kill.
Oh iya loh.
Safe line, but they've got the advantage. Just get out.
Gua kayak gini ya.
Gate crash at home, really.
Full screen tapi ada chat ya.
Smoke off, so the res can come through onto something. That's one ultimate expended for PRX. Very important one, obviously. So, though it always feels bad that your opening kill amounts to effectively nothing, hey, you got a crucial ult out of PRX, so...
But that's your early mid-control smoke burn.
Who's next?
By Forsaken.
And now an immediate pivot to B main, where this drift will be used by something. You will soon learn that the B site is absolutely...
Desktop bukan di HP.
Taking. PRX can maneuver their way in, and will be headed towards just a big 5-on-5 retake in which Divide has the skill guard.
VCT pernah 13-0 nggak? Pernah dong. Pernah 13-0 pernah. PRX ya pernah deh 13-0.
Already PRX's util is being taxed before they even hit this B site. The slow warp, though, towards defense side spawn denies any anchor, any fight for space for GX. They have to play retake now.
PRX will have to get a really good timing out of B main. They have
Halo Rahman, WhatsApp, santai aja. Barusan maulid di musola, jadi apa itu maulid di musola itu apa itu? Maksudnya gimana? Lawan Talon, PRX lawan Talon 13-0 ya. Nah, itu.
Primary's now going to be available. Devin tries to swing off that, but there's Westside inside the fight. Flick this down, Guarino finds his, and GX! Unreal! Gladiators inside this big site. A hard-fought round that gets them.
Sayang sekali.
What a retake.
Sayang sekali nge-whiff.
Astounding from GX. They open it with this kill, trade it for the res, sure. But then from there, in the site, I mean, Westside just deletes both anchors.
Enemy remaining.
He is in outrageous form at the
Belum
moment.
telat banget, masih game 1.
PRX were fully divided 2 and 2, 2 B main, 2 on site. I mean, Alex is questioning why they're so stacked up in main. They get the paranoia with the steel guard now, but they can't really do much off of it because there's
Kasih paham Bang Alex.
But even still, that just caused so much delay that it felt like that would be enough. If Westside gets traded on, they
Ayo lu, diselamain kan lo sama Alex kan?
How does he do that?
PRX never had market control. So those two players inside B main that were smoked off, you could swing that out into the steel
Kasih
garden.
paham Bang Alex.
You don't know if Ara is still sat in market. You don't know if there's still someone there that can punish that kind of play, and you have limited info about who is in the site. There's no recon left available. And PRX actually look reluctant in that round to go aggressive. They do, in fairness, identify the risks of pushing a smoke when you don't have the info on the other side, but they have to spend this random smoke from Forsaken early in the round to get something back in the game, and they don't have it available to cover the beast when they hit it. And normally that's fine, because they got a dimensional drift that gets them in there and gets them the info. But no one shuts the door. They have one smoke, I think, towards defense spawn, and they've got to go. They've got to take that risk.
The GX really played to their out, which was, just fighting earlier, trying to apply pressure earlier, getting that kill when they were crossing. Because if they do go into a situation where it's just a straight-up 5-on-5 retake, and they have to contend with the ults, they're in a terrible position, right? That's going to be really challenging.
Ara there, just making sure his connections are all good. Best of our understanding, it was...
Ini tech boss, guys. Tech boss ya, tech boss.
He's
20 and 12.
On one. I mean, he had some impressive maps against Sentinels. That last Haven map, he was the top performer there. But this is a totally different level right now.
You can see just how much he thrives under this really diligent application of util to set him up. And that's the second time now we've seen GX, in that prior round send 2 people up mid, 2 people off catwalk. That's definitely set play that they've been leaning on fairly heavily. And the PRX, I don't know, don't ever play a Kyle, or don't have any mid presence at the start of the round. That is quite punishable. But that round, that was the round that PRX invested dimensional drift. The Resurrect obviously was drawn out there earlier on. Steel Garden was used. It was a round we pinned our hopes on. And for that to go up in smoke,
Jangan ya tech boss gara-gara Alex.
Saw something out here. This looked like a tech pause.
Alex.
We'll be getting our ready checks in just a moment, and we'll be off with round 20.
Coming back into this, PRX just going to...
Kenapa ya Paris sering banget tech boss ya guys ya? Orang bagus dah.
Economy has been pretty tough for both teams throughout most of this half. So now GX.
Jelek dah, Paris dah. Jangan lagi dah, aku di Paris kok kayak gini dah, mending di Jakarta dah.
They are in position
Pakai bisek kayak bagus dah.
their map pick. One we haven't seen from PRX much at all in this last stage. In fact, it was only in their most recent outing where they beat RRQ in the grand finals. For GX, a map that they've had some success on, a couple losses as well. But of course, both these teams, home map being Sunset, neither really wanting to waste their pick on it in a way, so they just allow it to float into the final position.
Udah mulai.
An absolute banger game. Both these teams on that map are unbelievable to watch.
We had, of course, a keyboard change there for Ara. Feel like he needs some LEDs in his life. I respect that. It's very late 2010s gamer coded, but I'm here for it. We're bringing it back. 4 stingers here for PRX. Are GX the kind of team that I'm going to be surprised by this? I feel no.
No, I mean, the money was good enough that, there's going to be a half by some level, right? So they'll certainly be ready for that. It's just so important again to note as we get back into this that round loss for PRX on the prior one. They used 3 ultimates, 3 of them.
Misalnya kayak monitor depan ada kagak gitu kocak.
GX, no they have Hunter's Fury and the Null Command. When we get into the buy round after this, PRX would love to, at the very least, force them to use those ults on a round here where they've bought Stingers. That would be a solid consolation prize.
Look at this dynamic setup here for GX. Now into mid. Ara is now taking that timing, taking that map control. Confident that he can post up here and look towards tiles. It's going to be a fast hit coming from B main. Ara is going to try and wrap around pretty quickly, if I'm not mistaken. West side, though, just, flat with all this. Huge kill, and Cloud comes to the rescue. These guys, man, these get Stingers in fairness. But they have got each other's backs for real. Forsaken is to fight inside the site under the effects of his Null Command. Can't make use of any of that util. And Ara pops him.
So that is one ultimate expended for the sake of GX to win that round. Can't blame them for using it. Those side anchors were under a hell of a lot of pressure. With the teleport right on top of West Side, the Cloud had his back.
West Side was done.
Sengit ini guys, sengit guys.
And then again, just look at the way he gets on that angle.
Sengit ini, sengit.
Keep the crosshair on the headshot angle.
Run. Suka lihat.
Crazy good anchor.
GX already emerging as one of the most compelling stories of this Valorant Champions 2025. 3 rookies taking it currently to
and
what many
they've
would
gone for
consider
the
the best.
push straight away, but PRX already. Hunter's Fury a bit too late.
Tiles Crunch is probably one of the least novel plays in the GX book. Something PRX have definitely seen before. That one is shut down.
That is a classic.
Jangan overtime, Pepe.
Who's been running that since the dawn of time in different variations, but hey, it still works frequently enough that there's nothing wrong with mixing it in. Cloud catches something on the cross, now 1 versus 3. They have an opportunity to isolate anything else. The IGL for GX, but individually has been no slouch in this tournament, far from it in fact.
He was 23-9 on Sunset against Sentinels, plus 15 kills deaths across the entire series.
Forsaken on that crouch a bit too quick for Cloud to deal with. Crosshair not ready for that, so PRX able to capitalize on a round where they absolutely nullify this aggression from GX. And the timings end up being a little bit off because Cloud is waiting for that recon to land before sending out the Hunter's Fury.
Kocak.
The pace of it is a little bit too slow, with the players actually pushing down, are getting through tiles.
Kocak. Time out.
Things are not
time out there.
Timings, and so PRX,
Ya Lord.
shooters they have, they're able to just dismantle that somewhat disjointed effort.
So TechPause here, it's Ara's in-ears, if I'm not mistaken, now being... When you've got a player who's newer to the stage, maybe newer to some of these match conditions, obviously NVMe plays under a very similar setup, so just wants to make sure everything is
TechPause gear lagi.
As we're getting towards the pointy end of this map,
TechPause lagi.
Tiles Crunch came in.
Paris, are you serious? Paris?
They need to be the best in the world, PRX. The favorites in this tournament. GX came in with no expectations. They've been very clear about that. And they start by rocking Sentinels. I mean, the performance on Sunset was like a 13-4. Sentinels just look horrendous by comparison. And GX have been able to, despite being matched up against a team who plays so fast, it's hard to actually put things in place against them, have been able to execute a number of set plays, not just on this defense side, but obviously also on an attack side in such a way with a util, the exception of that previous round, was layered so well, almost effortlessly by GX, and they're able to find edges against some of the best individual players as a world, as a team. GX have got such a deep playbook as far as it seems to us. No 2 rounds really look the same.
I'm definitely impressed by the fact that in no situations has it felt like they are choked by going up against the best team in the world, the reigning, defending champions from Toronto, heading into champs. They are just sending it. They are playing for that underdog mentality. Players are making individual confidence plays, taking timings. We've seen that from Aura, especially on this defense side. Oh my God, by the way, Flickless has 20 assists right now. That is correct. I just noticed that, but that is crazy. And it makes sense. We have seen him hit a number of important flashes throughout this game.
It definitely feels like you know, the GX we see when Flickless is on KO, for example, as opposed to like Viper, someone who's less able to assist with like that faster play or less positioned to set a duelist up
like
for
his
success.
breach on Sunset as well, right? And that is just the duo that was added. Flickless, Aura.
An insane flex player. And again, that experience with, you know, playing alongside some of these players in the past on teams as well, in challenges. I mean, don't forget, at the end of stage 1, GX make wholesale changes, pick up these players from challenges, and then become a force to be reckoned with in stage 2. After a bit of a up and down group stage as the playoffs where they really came alive. These guys are the real deal now. They've had enough time to get settled. And in a blink of an eye, they've gone from playing their stage 2 into going up against the reigning champions from Toronto and giving them a heck of a go.
Okay, pass.
PRX. Look at this.
Hello, Jonathan.
Can they
El
get back
Paris.
into this must-win round of GX? They'll be on match point. The economy for the defenders still strong at the moment. Patman is built to that Hunter's Fury, and honestly, PRX, one thing they have done a great job of on this attack side is controlling the orb game, right? Despite using it just a couple rounds ago, Devi is almost at that steel garden.
But in doing so, they often give up mid early, which is allowed for these plays from GX through it. This time, 3 players up mid, they are going for it.
All the way up mid, use that wall to cross from spawn so you can't get shot, flash for lane, something ready to go in.
Cloud and Westside fully anchored for this now, though they are tucked inside Boathouse. Cypher U2 coming up, and Patman's trying to clear them out. The perfect opener, but Cloud is ready on the swing. 2, and there's more coming. He might just be ready. What a flash from Flickless again! The setup is too good. Ara gets involved. Cloud's able to hold his own. The PRX are down to just Patman, who was supposed to be the one that opened the way up. Let them move in behind this Hunter's Fury. Now he's going to do it himself. This could be the map.
30 seconds left.
Aura on the angle, ready to go. The double swing out. I mean, GX, they come into this playing the oldest comp in the book for a sense, the classic. And you don't really see it too much anymore. And I think it's valid if you have questions about, man, they're still running this. But then you watch them play it, and look at the timing on this. The flash over the top with the double bounce, Recon comes out. It is just perfect from them. I mean, they are maximizing the tools that this comp has. So impressive.
Flickless adds another 2 assists off a devastating flash.
Or up to 24 now.
Nice try banget dah.
Away from taking map 1 against PRX.
Ara is basically walking on palm fronds this game. That is how well he is being set up for success.
Retrieving flash.
All right, just straight up B hit off the steel guard, and the Devi's been able to get quite quickly. Westside relegated to just that. Sheriff, as PRX are on the entry. Cage about to drop. Can he get the skill on the Forsaken? No. Sheriff not strong enough.
Need to find those we need to see Clash game from PRX now. They have that massive advantage weapons-wise. They're able to leverage it to get this B-side control, but eventually GX can reach for those primaries once more. Sage Wall, there's got a gap in it, so Flickless has to show himself briefly with that little gap. Something working those angles pretty effortlessly, and there's a slow
Flickless sudah 1 HP tuh, Bredet aja Bredet.
Gravino working through B main. We'll discover that there are no PRX players there this time, everyone on site. No reason for GX to not go for this. Only 1 round left, and they have a ton of money, but it's something who's ready to clean things up.
Alamak, something mah.
Wins that one. Flickless at 10. And we know just how solid things have been for GX. They've got decent money here.
Nice.
Now to get 2 guns out of the hands of PRX. As Pacific's #1 seed stays alive in
Kalau
map 1.
by face, coach boleh ngomong straight gak? Nggak boleh dong. Coach cuma boleh komunikasi ketika time out. Tapi setahu gua, siapapun yang time out, coach itu boleh ngomong. Meskipun yang ngomong, yang call time out itu PRX, coachnya GiantX juga boleh ngobrol. Kalaupun yang call out time outnya itu timnya GiantX, PRX juga boleh ngobrol sama coach. Tau gue sih gitu ya. Correct me if I'm wrong.
With a map win at their fingertips. Putting PRX out of commission is a hard ask, but look at this mid take again. PRX play more towards an A side of the map. They don't get involved here, and they don't see Ara coming.
It is the last round of this game, potentially a GX play with no fear at all.
And a real step from GX. They pick a set, and they have got to look for every single one. Paris Fashion Week out there.
Nice try, nice try.
A little different.
2-1 ya guys, ini guys.
PRX not ready for this style of play, not familiar with their game.
Aduh. Yang menang GiantX bro. Congrats dah lu pada dah. Langsung betting lagi yuk, mulai yuk. Jir, padahal udah ganteng banget loh.
No, but if you chase the ace, you won't get it. You have to let it come to you.
Aduh.
Okay, what do you choose? Win or ace?
Win and ace, that's what I choose, brother.
2 minutes later.
Aduh.
Dude, guys, I knew it. One of us gonna get X today, right? I knew it. Instant, dude. Instant first round X, dude. When I said that.
Gimana ini guys?
Things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family.
Kacu ini kacu. Next map siapa? Next map itu setahu gua tahu lagi. Kayaknya picknya PRX deh. Set, bet 1000 ya. Gox. Kalau ini gue kasih lihat ke kalian aja ya. Gue kasih lihat ke kalian aja nih ini mah. Gue kasih lihat ke kalian aja. Bro. Bro. Are you serius bro? Kalian believe banget sama PRX guys. Gue kasih tahu aja. Bro. 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 Aku beli PRX rajanya bracket bawah. Wow. Jangan dong. Ada RRQ di bawah. Udah PRX di atas aja. RRQ di bawah. PRX nge-sweep atas. RRQ nge-sweep bawah gitu loh. Lama. Are you sure about that? Bagi-bagi tugas, iya. Semangat Kuro. Ini salah ya, harusnya map 2 ya. Belum gua ganti, belum gua edit aja. Bisa gua edit gak sih? Gak bisa gua edit lagi. Iya nih, map 2 ini salah ini. Harusnya map 2, sorry. Buru-buru tadi. Cancel kali ya? Udahlah kayak udah ngerti lah ya, ini map 2 lah. You guys understand lah, you guys understand. Relax. Relax aja. Aduh. Kacau bro. The power of thumbnail bro. Look at this. PRX sama GiantX yang menang. DRX sama ini apa ya? DRX sama tim Liquid. Salah deh. Salah. Ini salah nih. Fnatic sama itu. Kacau ya. Oh ini Indonesia anjir, salah. Bukan Indonesia, wrong. Champions Tour. Nah. Ini bro. Jesus. Sama aja sih. Ay. Jangan lupa guys. Iklan dulu, iklan. Yuk, dibeli yuk. Dibeli yuk. Tuh ada diskon tuh. Lihat, ada diskon 20%. Dibeli yuk. Yuk, dibeli yuk. Udah banyak nih. Yuk. Dibeli yuk, dibeli. Yang udah beli, udah datang, jangan lupa di review guys. Dikasih bintang 5 kalau kalian suka sama barangnya, oke? Sip. 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 Udah beli tasnya, gokil. Gimana? Suka nggak Fatia?
Okay, bad day for the team. Okay, lucky day for GX, but we're well past that point now. I think they've proven themselves. If they can win this series, doubt is gone.
Astia pakai akun kedua buat betting ya.
It was from pistol round and an ace from summing up sort of how PRX are playing this game.
Yeah, I think they still had some of those brilliant individual moments. He definitely slowed after that first half, and that's where we started to see the more interplay really work out for GX, like having those aggressive flashes coming out of the likes of Flickless, who I think had an incredible map. I think you had Ara, it was mentioned on the cast quite regularly that he was put into so many high-value positions with great utility, and that is what made this GX team so special. And even with plays like this, taking over rounds, it wasn't enough.
Well, I think that's what we said about PRX, right? A lot of their wins have been off individual plays, bailing them out of bad situations, or the initial play working out. And it seemed like GX was ready for either side of that coin.
Yeah, and I can't believe it wasn't a PRX player that topped the scoreboard. You know, it was on the side of GX. And West Side, I owe you an apology. Mitch, you know, feel free to gloat.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to. This guy, he is unbelievable. I think he was the top for headshot percentage we always talked about in EMEA, and you got to see it here on fire. But
percaya Rif, percaya Rif. Kita percaya dengan PRX, oke?
Where he ran to site, took fight, and 3 players stayed behind the whole.
Kita percaya, believe, kita believe.
They had so much confidence in Westside.
Believe, kita believe.
And he made it work.
Yeah, Coach Alexo had some moments there.
Tenang everybody.
I can't wait to see what he had to say ahead of
In PRX we believe.
Hey guys, Mika back here, and now I'm with Alex of PRX. Now, there's been a running trend of confidence, especially when it comes to the boys. They've been talking about it in various interviews, but on this first map, we saw that GiantX was really unafraid to take the fight to PRX. Did you feel that the confidence of the boys wavered a little bit on this first map?
Yeah, of course. I think we play a lot better than scared. Normally, we'll be all over the map, but this one we were like forcing ourselves to go into like one bomb site. And I really don't like how we played, so I'm hoping there will be a lot better on Lotus.
Marah kan. Marah kan, Coach Ale kan.
I don't ever remember PRX feeling scared to go up against a team on the server. But Tom, tell all the fans as to why they shouldn't be worried just yet.
Marah kan. Coach Alek bete tuh. Siapa itu? Siapa tuh sebelah Alek? Welcome back to Revelation Silver Astia, akun keduanya. Terima kasih banyak.
terms of compositions, not massive amount of change. What I want to look forward to, though, is the two Fade players. I think they're going to play a huge part in this match with Cloud.
Alex gak buat interview guys. Oh, 17 times played PRX anjir. 76% loh no. Gokil.
Over to the Viper for comfort. And you might have looked at that game and said, well, his utility's so good, and his Viper, it wasn't really that great. Here is where you're going to see why Viper's considered Flickless as comfort. He owns on this map. And now coming in with confidence, hell, we saw GX in the last round play PRX's style. They ran it down. This is going to be a hard bounce back for PRX.
I disagree. I think this is where PRX, Uber, and Wire should be able to find an
Yuk bisa yuk. Fatria Kairi, thank you 10 gifted dan big W, massive W buat Fatria, thank you banget, terima kasih banyak. Big W buat Fatria, let's go. Let's go.
A little less played from GX, and it's a map that PRX did end up losing to RRQ.
Massive W buat Fatia Karit. Yang dapat jangan lupa ucapin terima kasih guys. Yang dapat jangan lupa ucapin terima kasih ya.
I believe they're 18-5 on this map. So I think despite losing it in the last couple of outings, I want to feel that that's not indicative of some kind of downtrend. They're sticking to the same comp. GX played this a couple times late in stage 2, really against only the cream of the crop EMEA teams. They seem to only play this map against some of the best in the game. This one obviously follows that trend. PRX love this double duelist here. They're pushing out, taking some space A main early.
Look at this already. B door opened up by GX. They get that mount control.
GX love this play. They love taking C mount, opening door, fighting into B main. When Aura has an op, they'll do that as well later. But yeah, PRX, they are just on the move. They want to get into this A site. West side is anchoring, heavily committed.
This wrap is going to come from GX, but it's going to take some time to get up from Rubble. In the meantime, West side has to hold
Nice, nice. Good shit, good shit.
My friend, GX, obviously, as we were saying, they were very
Asli ya, welcome back to Revelation Silver, akun ketiganya, gokil.
PRX, they are aware of the situation. Look at the way they position themselves on the site. Taking space towards heaven is a really nice idea. Jin can even wrap back towards stairs. This is going to be tough for GX.
Taking shots though through the smoke. Robinho pushing up on the stairs. That's Jing out of the picture. Now PRX knocked down to 4. Paranoia comes on through. Something no found Cloud as he attempted to get into the side. But now the challenge towards upper. Ara wins it out, but finds himself alone, and Forsaken will swoop in to give PRX the start they need.
Yeah, they really, I think, inevitably.
Yuk bisa yuk.
When they just flip the
Yuk PRX yuk ganteng yuk.
He loses that duel on stairs, a little unfortunate, but ultimately still.
Kamu pasti bisa PRX.
Heaven for the attackers, like.
Kamu pasti bisa PRX.
They can't afford to be slowed down by stalled util. That Viper wall on A, they're just disrespected. They've got to run in a tree. They've got to play with that speed. Give themselves player advantage on site. So now, anti-eco here for GX. They're, again, really active on look at what they're doing over at A, right? Really a lot of dynamism here. How do you punish this sort of fast rotate style?
I mean, they can just exploit GX's rotates by drawing them really quickly. Wow, okay, West side just, all right. Oh my God, he almost one-shot Divide.
Down to 20. Cloud has to back away though from this paint shell. A lot done here by West side. GX ready to fight into the side as the smoke clears, but something cleverly picks Ara off with a wider angle and then waits for GX to walk into his crosshairs. 3 for something. PRX.
Bot lain belum bantu tambahin poin, ayo. Bot lain ya, ada gak di chat?
But they are able to win out the important duels at the end when GX go for that multiple player swing. PRX make the most of their superior weaponry, and they can have a pretty competent bonus round now with a couple of those rifles.
Oke, bonus round, mari kita lihat bonus round ini guys.
Looks like they want to go for some of that early mound presence. When they do that, it is always initiated by Cloud. And then they'll maybe go that door open again if no one's there. Push towards B. This is fast for PRX to get A control.
Yep. No C's nade combo here out of GX, so they know the raise probably isn't here.
Something udah nambah OP, iya coy. Forsaken beliin something gitu.
PRX just want to accelerate into A yet again.
Forsaken is solo there, pretty much on his own, and Flickless takes it for top stairs. Now into the side we go. Something trying to push in deep. West side has the prowler to deal with it. Shoots straight through it. And it's Flickless activating from pit. My goodness. PRX. Nothing but scorch marks on this A site.
I'm going to need a replay on that West
Flawless.
Side. Prowler, not going to lie, going to need a replay on that. Was that intentional? Hard to say, honestly. PRX had some good util there to try and get an advantage fight against the anchor suit. I mean, specifically Westside, there's a Prowler in his face.
And if this GX anchoring is moderately successful, there's enough on board for the entire rest of the team on these fast rotates through B main to help out at the site.
Yeah, but I'm not mad at that. You know, the idea from PRX of just, okay, they're pushing with 3 players on C again. GX love having 3 players on C.
Bukan ngantuk, sakit lagi sakit gue.
But tough to do so when the anchor is Westside, where he is at his most proficient. It's just Divide going to go ahead and save in this instance.
Look where these trapwires are, basically untouched. Forsaken pushed ahead or pushed towards that Viper wall and got picked off very early. It's such a nice opener from Flickless.
Yeah, I got to see that one on the replay as well.
He just rotates around the pit, right? Kills the tree player. Dude, I do not want to go up against Flickless or Westside trying to hit these sites, man. Or both. Nah, forget about it. That's brutal. But it's either that, or you take a mound fight against 3 GX players, including their Raze and Fade. Pick your poison.
Yeah, I feel like it's so much more common to have that Viper
Bisa PRX ya, aku takutin gak bisa guys. Gas PRX adalah membuat yang menonton itu tegang pantatnya. Pantatnya kencang.
That's crazy. And the haunt comes in over the top at the perfect time.
The west side of his crosshair set for, the swing around the corner. He felt like there would be a fast swing off that Prowler. He was right.
All right, PRX now onto their full buy. Something just one away from getting the dimensional drift very early. Has started both this map and Ascent really hot in terms of the kills, in terms of getting an early dimensional drift.
This looks like much more of a default defense side setup for GX.
And now it looks like PRX, they want to make some sound here towards A, and then something can just teleport over. Thought maybe they were going to try to bring him over towards that C side to get the orb. They had mound control.
Just did not like the prospect of being dug out of rubble there. So opted to leave instead. Going to work this rubble, re-clear it slowly. The Haunt into that B-side reveal Ara.
And this time, obviously set up adjustment from GX on this defense, having that duo of Westside and Flickless towards C. The other trio, emphasis on A. Aura in a fairly committed position. Grabinho trying his best to support, trying his best to draw attention, and he does. So 1 for 1.
Nice stuff,
Ara getting his is big. He took a lot of damage just crossing to that position, but blink and you'll miss it, folks. GX get hammered.
Nice, Davai.
With 3 already.
Menyala Davai.
Westside doesn't have a lot of business, I think, being anywhere near the B-sides.
He is shredding them apart, and off of all that distraction, you just had Patman, Forsaken, kind of biding their time towards B main to take the perfect moment to swing out, get a kill, get the plant.
How deep do you think the play for GX is on a map like this, as opposed to their Ascent?
I mean, that was something I was mentioning to you before this game. I feel like watching them on this map, compared to some of the others like Ascent, especially Sunset, where it feels like they have an infinite amount of set plays, I don't think they have that same depth on Lotus. The map has been okay for them. It's been mostly close games, close in win, close enough in their losses, but like those other maps, I don't think they have the same number of plays to get them consistent wins.
In EMEA, up until the playoffs, Lotus was only accounting for about 16% of the picked maps in EMEA, the lowest since 2023. So definitely, EMEA teams gone off the boil on this map a little bit. Especially Fnatic used to always prefer to go over to that one, but they've not really touched it.
Yeah, very different to PRX, who played this map over 20 times.
Lotus aficionados.
They love playing it.
They probably have played as many Lotus maps themselves as have been played entirely in EMEA.
Now GX are back to the triple on C. Grabinho pressed up very far forward, ready with that paranoia. Swing out left from Aura, 1 for 1. Forsaken happy enough to just teleport away after the kill.
They had to know there was going to be a mound fight brewing here, PRX, if they've seen the tape. Now, of course, see the exchange of smokes. That one way is going to be renewed by Grabinho. He is insisting on maintaining the control of this part of the map. PRX are going to have to allow it.
B pivot? Yeah, work towards this B main off the Prowler. Can show some presence in different areas of the map. Something in a position where maybe he could catch off some kind of rotate, or at least just work some space towards A.
Oh, Cloud! Unreal. Patman has a feeling for the timing. He was right.
Just shows the tracers. Something has this dimensional drift.
3v4 winnable, 3v4.
GX have pivoted 2 players towards this C side, which is seeming like the right call.
How quickly Cloud rotated off B. We need to be here now for this anchoring attempt. Grabinho does not have a paranoia to work with, and this is a dimensional drift that will allow something to pave the way. Cloud a little bit low after that exchange with Patman earlier. That was a clone scene. Here come PRX. We're able to throw down on the side, but the rotates are coming in. West side already going to set up here.
Persis. Ya Allah. Ya Allah, nge-whiff.
Swings a little bit wider than he was ready to account
Ya
for.
Allah.
Now has to get it done. Finds Cloud. Steel Garden to give him the edge. Doggedly defending that spike location, and this will slow things up for the retake. Flickless and West Side hold an approximation of a crossfire for the time being. Once those weapons return, they're ready, and Flickless is there. PRX have to hand over the second round, as even the Steel Garden is not enough.
Respect the usage, though, from Divide.
Greedy bastard, greedy bastard.
Something all good. GX go 1-for-1 on the early C fight. They're kind of standard. This was a pivotal moment in the round, obviously. Like, it's just some random spam from Patman onto a commonly held angle, but then the Tracers are spotted. Out of the vandal.
Thank you Asia, satu gift-nya. Terima kasih banyak.
Less so responding to the Tracers and just thinking of the same timing as Divide. Very, very solid. West side up to 5-2. Anchoring prowess on A on full display already. Repopulating the C-sider. We might see a rubble fight instead from GX now with their raise and fade over here. There's the haunt.
Teleport across from Forsaken to play towards that door. GX pivoting the setup. Just kind of bouncing, ping-ponging West side back and forth from that A site to the C site to keep PRX guessing, who are fully invested into this round. Would love to get that showstopper access for Jing. With the AWP, what a tap! That's mental.
Thank you lagi Astia, satu gifted. Terima kasih banyak.
Now, get a weapon upgrade for himself, going to baby door. We'll have some backup that might pivot towards a B hit from that. Flickless is going to be the one that has to stand tall in the face of this level of pressure. Steps up, knows it's coming, going to try and take matters into his own hands, but something still has the Guardian.
Nice.
Three with the Guardian. Bro, it refuses to be stopped.
They're not even going to the B site.
Nice, Batman. Flawless, nice.
A little bit of a TDM rapi. Like. What was that first shot? Stunner from back rubble.
Oh my
wow.
goodness.
I mean, the jiggle to bait the shot, then swings a bit wider. Instant tap.
Nice banget itu.
Yeah, he's still a little different.
Holy.
He is right. 4-2. Is the round score now for PRX? That time, yeah, no aggressive mound presence. PRX didn't actually see the raise, I think, off the rip, so weren't sure. But there was no explosive fight at rubble like we thought there might have been.
And that was a super important round in terms of the economy. Both sides were quite low, but now PRX with an opportunity to really stabilize if they get a clean anti-eco, but GX want to get into it.
Okay, nice. Okay, nice. Free round, free round.
He doesn't shoot through the prowler.
Free round, free round.
PRX go very aggressive. No, they have a chance here to really just stack up an important fifth round for themselves. Grabinho, but laterally going to take that door toggle. Ara joining him in mounds. There's an Arcros out there that does confirm the two players' presence. And they know full well that the Razor Vine is going to be in their way.
Nice.
Step ahead of it,
Nice.
away nice and quick.
Ini dia ada fight 3 kill.
Something where Patman would love to get another kill here to get close to their ultimates.
Nice.
And that will be the case. Obviously, GX for this buy round have the full arsenal. 5
Nice,
ults
nice.
ready to go. PRX at the moment have just been having their just instilling their will upon the map. They are taking space everywhere, pretty much any time they want. Moderate amount of success for GX with the mound fights, but that is about.
Tapi kayak merasa gak sih tim manapun yang main PRX pasti ketawa dah. Kayak mereka tuh tahu gitu kalau main sama PRX tuh di bawah fun gitu loh. Jadi meskipun mereka kalah, gak yang kayak serius-serius banget kayak ketawa semua kalau main sama PRX aja. Kayak pada chill aja gitu.
Certainly could be the case. Prowler going to go right through main. Showstopper in. Jing blinded up in a lot of trouble. Doesn't know what the hell is going on, but something able to catch out Flickless.
Nightfall pretty important here. It's going to be a showstopper now coming from GX. Needs to get back in, and it goes 1-for-1. Trade of raises. Beautifully done by Grabinho. Something out there on the side. Does get picked off. The Nightfall for Cloud helping to a great degree. No full commitment for PRX. Now they're going to pivot off this side, but West side is going to see it coming.
Yeah, now they know that Patman is just that lone hanging player towards B, trying to cause some distraction with the Prowler. Forsaken out wide, wants to jump, try to bait out some kind of shot.
Divi's got the op here. He can post. This is still dangerous.
Oh.
Do they expect Cloud tucked in the
Oh.
corner?
Oh, nice.
That should be a swing here. Yep, Grabino looking to try and take the fight.
Oh.
Maybe not with Devi. Quick peek and gets back
Oh,
to
nice,
safety.
Devi.
Grabino will be walking into a triple face.
Grabino did work himself into a good position there, to be fair, just couldn't connect the shot. Now it's all on West Side. Trying to make his way through Heaven.
Spike planted.
Just drop himself down, take the fight. Forsaken the first to go. He has a feeling for the fight on that corner and chunks him down to 61.
Unfortunately, just has no util to work with. Even a cage could be nice here, just to temporarily throw in front of Tree.
PRX is trying to make sure this doesn't get isolated off, and Devi is ready with the op. Nicely done. Devi opens things up. He gets Cloud.
PRX punya fan coachnya sakit kepala. Iya aja.
That's an important pick.
I'll tell you, the attack off Sentinel, I think on Lotus in particular, is just so strong at the moment.
Gila, trackingnya something ngeri banget, cok.
Raids going through off that showstopper. PRX is doing a great job slowing the game down there, pivoting away.
Who gave you all
Okay,
that?
Devi.
Yeah, it's really feeling like PRX are just a cut above on this map. They're so experienced on it. Lower in the pool for GX. It seems like they made the right decision in terms of map pick ban from Alex here.
And in GX's defense, a lot of these early rounds for PRX, they have not tried to apply full pressure to Rubble. Haven't tried to run out there. Since like the first couple
Hentikan
rounds,
OP-nya
so
Davai,
as soon as
GG.
West Side has actually been moved
Bagus,
over
bagus.
to the C side.
Good shit,
PRX
good
have
shit.
tried to work around a little bit more. Notice that there's actually not 3 players trying to take that space from them. Grabino, I think, on one occasion tried to, keep that one-way going, stand his ground there. There was a bit more of an all-in engagement. But in general, PRX are able to hit his slightly weaker held sites. And then that big hit on B behind the showstopper, behind the Nightfall. It was messy, and they were still able to extract themselves and pivot over to A.
When GX have had a lot of success on this map, it has come from being able to consistently keep the op in Aura's hands and play around that as a way to just control part of the map. He really hasn't had a lot of chances with it, and when he did, he got deleted by something with the Guardian, with that sick one-tap, right? So, dude, even at that, such an important piece of the success that they have had here, it's just not a factor.
It was so big against Sentinels, right? Once they started to, they lost 6 rounds, I think, at the start of Haven. Then they got Ara going, and then it was Curtains.
Prowler goes under the trip. It's a little bit higher up. That is awkward. Jig is caught, but yeah, he is dealt with. That's crazy.
Yeah, easily handled that. It's time for Util, a big problem.
Oh, tipis anjir.
Remember, this is a GX Sheriff Eco round, and Flickless is commanding attention on the sides.
Oh my god, what is this? Nama PRX, Hobby kalah Thrifty. Siap.
Still has a spike to hand.
Nama PRX. Hobby kalah Thrifty.
Fine place for PRX to get a bit experimental. Maybe be rewarded with some patience here on this look towards C-Link.
GX have recovered the guns. Flickless knows that he should not be giving anything to Devi. Wall is up so he can reposition towards sight. That is such a funny little adjustment that works out, just putting the trip higher than the Prowler, but it still catches a player on entry. That is really sick.
Yeah, in theory, PRX have a ton to deal with that, right? They have the Prowler. Of course, they have the Yoru clone that can tease it out. Nicely done. I mean, Jing had nowhere to go, and he needed to get into Baby Door with that judge. The perfect way to shut him down. So it's been Devi and something, though, really have put out strong performances, and both of them have made use of the op at times, or the Guardian, and made it look like an op.
Now, does Devi dare use the Steel Garden he's about to get?
He might
He used
be
it in the
dying.
1v2, but yeah, no, I think he's going to probably die first, sadly. Or just walks in, takes the timing, gets the first kill, gets the defuse, and GX. The Thrifties are what honestly propelled them back into the game on Ascent. Though, that being said, the score was much closer throughout that entire game. It was not nearly as dominant for PRX. Yep, and there's that high up trip. Flickless catches the 1 kill, and then just floods right back in with West Side. There's multiple players coming.
Perkara Prowlernya nggak kena trap, Jing jadi taunya udah ada trap anjir.
Within your effective range, it's in your wheelhouse. Great MasterCard Thrifty. One of many from GX we've seen over this series.
Just mentioned it, but Aura was able to recover that op with the kill on Devi at the end there. He was still carrying that, so we'll see if that can be crucial to them getting back in the game. They love to fight for Mount here, then open door and have Aura already on the angle towards B main. Yeah, and that is going to be the case, but, you know, no one really ready to fight. Something is making all the distraction towards B right now.
A pinch on the B here from Upper could be interesting. Something! Okay, as the game crash
What?
out of there. Ara opening up the account. Jing was found first. Op in the hands of Ara is always a dangerous prospect. But with the Sheriff, Guarino can't find his way out of the corner. The Steel Garden definitely getting its value here. West side, though, and Ara still able to populate the site. And as soon as he got the Phantom back in hand, he put it to work to the tune of 2 kills.
And Westside saves Aura's life there, guaranteed.
Weird angle with Clouds on. It's going to be hard for Divide to dig him out.
Yeah, much like this last round. Anything to Divide in this situation now that they've got the advantage. But it is giving opportunity for something to just flank all the way through spawn.
He's making the right choice here going from Link side.
It will I mean, how does Aura, and why would it make any sense with the timing? This is crazy.
I mean, there's something gate crashing back to rubble. The fact that he's got here is West side is watching for it anyway.
West side.
Just adjusted their setup at the perfect
Jaga
moment.
flank dia
And now
bagus.
it'll just simply be on Divide to save. These B holds have been pretty standout from GX.
Divide makes a choice in the previous round, White, to try and plant, to try and win in a 1v3 and not save that op. He hands it over to Ara, who uses it to open up and smash Jing as he tries to fast play onto B. Maybe regretting that somewhat.
And it did, yeah, that play towards C-Mount, yeah, it does end up working. The classic from GX, they run that constantly, especially when Aura has the op and can just post up on B main through the door. Gets that free catch. We'll see this on the replay.
Yep. So sick, man.
Yeah, GX do this constantly. And Jing was ready for the angle, he swung out on it, but going up against it off. Westside comes up so huge to save Aura there. And then they just maneuver that setup a little bit differently so they can actually cover that flank through spawn. So much time had expired that they had to have a sense that something could be on some kind of really big wrap around the map like that.
So at first it's a MasterCard Thrifty where the Sheriff sing on the B site. And now GX fight through the Razor Vine to get to within 2 rounds here.
PRX are so heavily invested into this round. If GX take it here, they'll be on a bad bye PRX that last round. A real shot at actually bringing this back to 6.
They don't want to deal with this Mount fight this time. PRX instead head over towards A, always looking towards West side site.
Oh,
this guy is just something else, man.
Gila, tipis banget itu angle anjir.
Towards West side site.
Where are you supposed to go? Home?
You're all 3 options. Sadly, you hit his site.
All right. Flickless here, Razor Vine blooming in front of him. No success with spam through that cyber cage. West side wants to get active on the side. He walks, though, up on Jing, who this time is ready to throw down into the back of the site. Jing goes and out to upper. Full site control for PRX. And GiantX and Cloud. We need to work together to piece this out.
And those anchors who have typically been an absolute wall, just depleted by PRX on a very round for their money. Aura into this 1 versus 3. Does he even want to risk it with the op? Actually, yeah, he has a ton of cash. He can go for the play. Why not? Just send it.
Time is short. The harder he can make this next round for PRX, the better. It will be the last round of the half. Ara, since getting that op in hand, we've seen what he can do with it. He's absolutely dynamic.
It gets a showstopper.
Bagus anjir.
So, hey, little consolation prize. He'll take it. He will take it. Get out of the round with that.
Messy round for PRX. You mentioned a big investment there.
GX, or rather, sorry, when they were anchoring that site, Jing did a great job on the entry here. He gets that 1v1, and then as soon as he hears the teleport, realizes that it was Guarino getting into backside, swings before he even gets out of that. That was just a heads-up play.
GX in the 2v4 end up taking
mahal banget tuh AWP hilang tuh mahal.
PRX owned this last round of the half. Still mostly bought up. A couple of half armors here. Forsaken not with full util, had to buy down completely. Gonna have to be enough. No op here for Ara.
Instant sees with the nade this time. Not gonna catch the flash. It's amazing. And Jing collects all 3.
PRX knew exactly what they were walking into this time.
Fastest round I've ever seen in Valorant. I mean, what was that, 5 seconds?
What the fuck?
Very no-nonsense stuff. This time, PRX meet GX head on. Love to see that.
What was the clock on that? Genuinely, was that 5 seconds? 6 seconds?
We're about to see. All right, while we do see this again, we're going to go a quick break. We'll come back, of course, with the next half of Lotus.
Buset. Baru nafas gua. Udah selesai gamenya guys. Bujuk dah, bujuk dah, bujuk. Cuma 6 detik anjir, ronnya berakhir cuy. Gokil parah. Aku menyebutnya gokil bet. Mantap jiwa. Luar biasa. Ada. Gelo, gelo. Balas dendam Antares, iya cuy. Jing ini masalahnya ya teman-teman ya. Jing ini nggak sih, tapi di antara semua performance, di antara semua match tadi, Davai di map 1 tuh tidak menyala sama sekali bro. Di map ini dia lumayan nyala. Lumayan nyala di map ini, Davai. Di map tadi bro, lo harus lihat bro. Lo lihat Davai bro. Jing juga gak nyala bro. Arah 300 aja gak CS. Hayai.
Impressive, and it's Devin that we're watching, who's got the op in his hands a couple times. You mentioned, Wyatt, how that sort of, you know, an attack side Senti with the op in hands on Lotus has been pretty darn impactful. He is vomiting damage here for that spend.
Yeah, the money spent for the damage dealt with the report also looks pretty good when you get the operator for free, because you're taking it from the other team. And you just are getting kills off the back of that as well. It was a great half from Devin.
And that last round was 6 seconds of Valorant.
That might be the fastest round I've ever seen. It very well may be.
Yep. And I guess the last chance for GX to show the proactive defense looks. They just threw themselves at PRX, come off second best. PRX now, potentially more confident, ready to take those kind of fights. We've got Jing and Devin with sheriffs to hand here.
All of GX looking like they're just ready to go at this B site. Stacked up with 4 players. Cloud has 1 Prowler, 1 Haunt.
The stack, so full retake protocols in effect now for PRX. GX get up on this B side.
Luckily, something doesn't actually take that teleport. Just walking down out of A. Westside is going to hear all of this. If he plays it patiently, he might be able to backstab everybody.
Yep, they are not checking for this. All the timing is good for Westside, and he's able to convert it into a second. Paranoid for Forsaken, but he still gets dinked. Bro, he's down to 4. Able to take the fight with some right clicks, but once again, PRX disrupted as they're trying to set up defensively.
How many late round situations have we seen Deviant like this? And yet somehow he's still putting up crazy numbers, but he's in unwinnable spots.
Not this time. Forsaken at 4 with pressure and shots through the smoke. GiantX, what a start here. Working the map. And leaving that insert back towards the B main flood. Beautifully done by Westside.
That is so well played. Here's all the steps. Patient. Picks the perfect timing. PaperX just not suspecting there would be someone waiting outside of C whatsoever.
Translation, good.
Westside now up at 14 kills. Hell of a series at the moment.
So again, GX still want to try and throw curveballs, no matter what side of the map they're on. PRX pretty serious about this A side control. We'll just see some health bars affected there as there's by that Viper wall that GX can play off.
GX here, a lot of noise towards A, so they want to leave. Why not go elsewhere? And PaperX, they're saying, hey, we made a lot of noise. They're probably going to leave. Let's go to the other side of the map.
They're pinging the expected location of the arc rows there as well, up on the wall. Devi had made use of that already by the looks.
PRX are very ready for this. They knew what GX were going to do.
Ara trying to make a swing. It's risky business trying to post up at that angle, and something's going to punish him now.
Boo.
The paint shells catch
Very
Westside.
nice.
By the heel as he tries to abscond quickly. Cloud paranoia it up, but Flickless is able to bail him out. And
Allah.
through the
Allah.
He's going to be devastated. PRX feed themselves into the wood chipper. Grabinho more than happy to oblige.
Allah.
PRX just couldn't resist the temptation of trying to continue.
Allah.
Kills.
Lu udah dapat 2 kill bukannya sabar aja.
They had the stack.
Udah dapat 2 kill gak sabar. Tuh kan, ngamuk kan? Udah 2 kill mukil bangsat, bangsat. Balik ke default anjing.
Paranoia was much earlier onto Cloud.
Udah dapat 2 kill, udah nice banget.
In PRX that they can't deny. It takes a will for them and runs them headlong into a brick wall.
A very quick take
Tuhan
now
Yesus.
from GX, already working their way into tree, which is being smoked off, but it's Grabinho who's gotten into stairs. Might catch Forsaken on the rotate.
Here's this all of it. Forsaken thought he was clever getting up on the corner, but Grabinho was far further forward than he expected.
What a kill. Has the paranoia line up for backside as well. He catches Patman.
Patman out in the open. Are able to take that fight, and Jing knew he had the dark. He knows this question the better part of Ella now, and the pressure is on. What a correction! 3 for Jing, and the spike goes loose. It's at the back of the site. And GX had to get Flickless and Westside up here to wrest it out of his grip.
One enemy remaining.
And what have they got to do with absolutely no tools? PRX are now everywhere.
Oh, man.
That flooding effort to support Jing, who really does it all. The weapons for GX just not good enough, and the aim from Jing is really sickening.
But Grabinho got so deep. The kill upstairs, pick on something, paranoia. Surely that's enough to work with. But the timing's not there, the spacing for GX as they try and capitalize. They only get the 1 kill off it.
That first player was a little bit too early. The Sheriff's just not really enough for the trade there either. Really, really sick sequence of kills though from Jing. That was beautiful.
Jing quiet, honestly, up until this point. Now in the 10 spot.
We go for some kind of crazy double satchel with the showstopper off here.
Wah, ngeliat lagi Jing ngapain? Pasti epic.
Insane distance if he wants to do it.
Yeah, PRX looking for a delayed rebel fight by the looks.
So you never see 2 players stacked up there. That is so silly.
There are a lot of things I've never seen until PRX do them. Second back onto the A side now. Has to think twice about setting up in tree. Paranoia drawn out. Now as the door opens, the Grabinho's hoping to get ahead.
Jing on the rotate over towards A Heaven. If GX commit, they're still staring down the barrel of this showstopper.
Waduh.
Thought he had a timing, but Grabinho has room to recover.
And now Jing is just solo, all alone.
Done this again. Done this before. Ah, he gets chomped on. Paranoid, Prowler out, and still something controls that high ground. He's gonna rip the showstopper, and Grabinho can't get away in time. This time, Jing relies on his teammates for success. And that's also solid strategy. Westside to the back of the side, it's something felled. Patman around the corner, sees in place, and Westside is an easy target. A tasty morsel.
Nice. Threw up a great haunt in the middle of that fight. That was unbroken by GX.
Nice.
I believe that's how something was able to get the kill from Heaven.
1v3 lagi, nice.
But would have been, I think, maybe a little too late. Yeah, if this haunt didn't come in, he wouldn't have been able to support. But look at this.
He also just creates space for that showstop. Look at Grabinho immediately trying to get away. No chance. Correct hit. Holy shit, but good job. Great flood there by PRX. Something so important from upper there.
Batman do the work, guys. Batman do the work.
To get that piece of utility off for something to support Jing, who is about to be overwhelmed. And it sent GX reeling onto this pretty tough little half-5. Bucky involved, even Westside opportunity, but shots not connecting.
It's a very GX-coded start to the round for PRX. Determined mount control. We're opening a B door to force the attackers back further.
Nice.
Now is being taken.
Nice. Nice, Davai.
Just don't have the weapons to thrive in this
Wah,
scenario.
nice banget, anjir.
was able to get deep now.
Nice. Good shit, Davai. Good shit.
And it's just feeling
Davai menyala.
Putting up the 19 for 6. Playing the Vice. PRX on this map, they are just certainly a cut above. And
Nice lot, bro.
Davai heating up. Jing heating up, looking even more dangerous than they were on Ascent.
And insane as these moments have been from GX, they're too few and they're too far between. to start to challenge PRX's round total. 11-6 on the scoreboard. Heading into round number 18.
GX is trying to keep it simple with this brawl on A, but PRX are there to fight.
Ara has to go down there. Nothing he could really do. Seized in place by the looks of things. And there's something. Here's PRX now. This is where their bread is buttered. And it never falls butter side. Down, Wyatt. Something. X's with 3.
We have gotten some very fast rounds of Valorant on account of PRX. Relentlessness, just that willingness to fight. Full brawl in A standard, you get your C's, you get your nade back rubble. So even though Aura is able to capitalize with Jing's really quick push with those double satchels and catching him immediately, just trade it out, post-mortem by the nade. And look at the way that PRX, just all the rest of the players are swinging together.
They're now imposing themselves on GX. There was a rubble fight, that followed a mound fight. Both successful for PRX, playing up on the defense side. They're going to go for a mound variation here. There'll be nothing to see for them, but maybe a fast flank opportunity.
Yuk, satu lagi yuk. One more yuk. 3, 2, 1. Udah bagus banget flashnya. Udah bagus banget flashnya. Tembakannya nge-weave. Kenapa di-push something? Lu udah kena scan, babi ngepet. Ya Allah.
It feels like they really wanted to get this one over with fast. But the eagerness to do so has extended us by at least one more round.
Yeah, brimming with confidence is the polite way of putting it there for PRX.
And I get it.
Terlalu buru-buru, Mas. Terlalu buru-buru.
Got a lot of kills, doesn't have a lot of deaths.
Astagfirullah.
That one's bold.
Yeah, there's obviously a player right to Devi's left there. All right, some breathing room here for GX, but as the finisher identified, 7 rounds from here on out need to be won by GX.
And at some point, it's going to be 5 ults for PRX.
Yes.
So it's going to be tough to overcome the fact that they're going to need all those rounds. I'll tell you that.
So again, PRX just flip-flopping this time. It was a bit more aggressive over towards rubble side. No one actually in the C side at all. Does Grabino opt to walk up on this? No, paranoia. He thinks that GX are a bit faster than they actually are. Razorvine's canvassing the ground. This will slow things up slightly, but already GX have purchase in the back of the side.
PRX are more than happy to play this for some kind of retake of Flood. All right, 1-for-1 on the important ults. Actually, it's the Dimensional Drift in very early. Something spawning on multiple players within that Viper's pit, but certainly can't commit at that timing. Will give an opportunity to ping out for the nade, though.
Okay, west side inside the pit. It's a clone that he ends up taking contact against. Buddy thrown in. GX just keeping a toe in the pit to keep it standing.
Gimana cara lu masuk ke Viper's pit, ayo.
This is so much pressure from PRX. GX have not for any moment felt comfortable enough to try to actually get this spike down. Yeah. But at this point, they've drawn out enough utility that they can.
The pre-plant pit, though, is always kind of dangerous. It gives PRX time to set up and start spamming in. Ara has fallen.
And one more kill for Jing will result in a showstopper. That could be enough to close out this game, bring us to sunset.
Something's had the time now, the freedom to start to swing around. Looks like the box position in C has been smoked out and shut down. But there's Westside and Cloud. Stave off this attempt at their flank. Now, NRG realize there's no point going any further.
Yeah, that's all she wrote on the round. They need to save those rifles so they can get a full buy into the next. So Dimensional Drift, Steel Garden off the table. Some of the very, very important ults that PRX have access to close out the game. And of course, the round converted. Things looking a little bit more realistic for GX. Yeah, but even still, they had to exchange plenty of their own ultimates to get those out. And we're about to have Showstopper Nightfall for PRX. So just the cycle, the dance of ultimates back and forth will continue.
But I mean, it's worth pointing out that it's a Steel Garden and a Dimensional Drift that don't really give them an edge in all of this round.
Let's go, we can do this.
Yeah, what can they do with that pit up, right? I mean, there's just no real way to get back in effectively at any juncture. Now PRX want to call this timeout. Alex wants to get involved so they can close
Tim
this
sarap, Tim sarap.
2 in a row for GX. Just bandage that wound, win the game, get to sunset, a home map for both team, and we get there. That should be
PRX, aku mau tidur malam-malam.
I do wonder if this is a round where PRX decide to slow it down a bit, because they've been virtually gambling with like aggressive push-ups, and they've been alternating between the C and A sides, between Mound, between Rubble, and they've been missing GX all the time. GX got to hit a C-side there, which had some Vice util, but no one actually anchoring in it. They played a 0-4-1, 0-1-4 rather, with the Omen, Rubinho set up on B.
Money not all too good for PRX when we get back into this round. I'm interested to see what Alex has in store for them here.
Forsaken rather on the B side.
How much do they want to commit? There's now a buy from Devi down to 50. Yeah, they're going to force it up pretty heavily. It'll put Devi in something low. You lighter armors. Still a competent buy. And Patman ready to just throw that early haunt over towards A, so PRX can brawl for that side of the map. GX, let's see if they try to go all in.
There's that horn across the map. Sees though, not quite there. It's Ara getting picked off first though, Forsaken.
Nice first kill, Jason.
Trying to cross past that rubble corner.
Yeah, just instantly opening that tree door. Entry player for GX removed. Now they have to get their bearings, figure out how to win this out in the 4 versus 5 with 0 ultimates available.
Might see some baby door presence taken up by PRX in a moment. Mindful though is Patman about to push off B main, but there's a shield wall there to detect it.
Yeah, and with that Prowler not getting any spots, no reason for PRX to really adjust here in any way that can retain these spots on A. They're prepped for B if they need to be as well.
The B split coming out. There's that shield wall in play. How will that be handled? Flickless though, and West Side.
Jangan keluar something. Jangan keluar something. Jangan keluar something.
Aggro play, but couldn't was delayed. Jing now doubled up though.
Flickless had to wait for that wall to come down. He's now able to sit in main a little bit further. We'll have a plant. There's the TP here for Forsaken. Smoke on Flickless's position now, and Grabinho attempts to take control. Paranoia comes out, doesn't affect Grabinho though. He's tucked here on the corner, wins one. Eventually gets overrun, but Jing elsewhere, picked up by Westside, who followed up Grabinho. Great upper presence here for GX.
Aduh.
The money's not good for PRX, they know it. And now Cloud's starting to bring him down one by one. Something has to limp away. Beaten black and blue.
What an adjustment. The movement into that second kill from Cloud.
Aduh.
That was so lovely. And I think the GX did an excellent job playing into heaven there. Despite being at that man disadvantage, the paranoia that Grabinho threw out was excellent. It connected onto everyone from PRX that were stacked up there. He gets wide, takes that first engagement, instant swing from Westside to get the second, and he backs up at the right time, just plays around the shorty. That was so well done.
Look
Yeah,
how
it's
deep
this
and
moment
deep
here. Look at that perfect little peek from Westside. And look at that adjustment right back to the sidestep from Cloud.
Good job.
Wow, GX is still in it.
So much map control off that paranoia in the upper.
Why did we take it from here? It doesn't make sense.
Characteristic frustration here is that it's 3 rounds in a row that GX have been able to snatch out from under PRX's nose.
3 chances for PRX to close this out now. Again, back to the old C's with the nade to take this control towards Rubble, which has been really emphasized by PRX. Many rounds in a row now on this map.
Devi is able to shoulder pick and see a fair few players here. It's going to be a frothy push on towards the seaside. Slowed down briefly by the smoke.
It felt like GX are really just keeping it simple, big executes, and that's what has begun to work for them.
Batman one off that Nightfall for retake. Showstopper also there for Jing. So DRX likely let this first push go through to the keeper.
Aduh, gampang banget masuk C-nya, anjir, polos banget masuknya.
But can GX really fight for any additional space? No. Look at the status of the utility. It's very low.
Ya
Just a seize and a
Allah.
haunt. That is all they have access to.
Batman would love a kill here. Something to open things up. Ara goes low. Clone there, of course. Complicating things. And there it is. Ara taken down. Not the start they're looking for at all. PRX looking for a retake now as Jing found that showstopper. And it found Flickless in turn. Cloud tucked here by the side. Sees Patman go across. Devi might look for a swing off this, but isn't ready for Cloud to take a timing of his own. Nightfall going to come through here, and Cloud is already off the sights. Fantastic stuff from GX. That was PRX going for the full retake behind the showstopper. Doesn't quite get him there.
And during crunch time, Cloud has come to life these past couple rounds. Beautiful play there. Didn't work out, but it was kind of cool in the midst of that retake. He threw a haunt over to Waterfall to see if...
Davai ngapain nengok ke kanan sih? Lu kan tahu di kiri ada orang, Davai dari arah Eme,
Has some of the most unreal movement. The little
it's just these
repositioning
little
that he does
repositions have been
reminds me of
Aduh, pusing kepala BRB guys.
Kind of goes back in, gets
Ya
that
Allah,
perfect kill
Tuhan
on
Yesus,
Divine,
dapai,
back into
dapai.
Nightfall, backs up to use it. Really excellent stuff. I can't believe GX are still in this, and they really have just gone back to basics, just hitting sites, winning out retakes. They're winning them out with man disadvantages as well.
PRX forced into that round to some degree, right? It's a bit of a jumbled mix of weaponry. They probably retake, but they're not given a choice. Not after Cloud has that Nightfall.
And they've been forcing into the last couple rounds, so it's not like the buys have been bad, but they're not coming into them with full buys, like Divide with just the Sheriff there, some weak armors the prior round, a lot of, lighter armors, Guardians. And again, if they force up into this, well, at this point, the loss bonus is kind of high, so they can afford to buy down a bit.
It's not great.
Not great. They've got Sheriffs, just a mix, a smorgasbord of random weapons here. GX full intentions of getting out A, which has been the location that PRX have been most happy to fight for early, as of late, but this time ultimately pretty free.
There's no C's nade combo as the Fade and Raze both over at B. PRX trying again to gamble at the right position, but this allows for a faster reflank.
Very fast reflank, 3 players. There is obviously this trip place behind by Westside that'll need to be broken, unless maybe they want something to just teleport across and they go elsewhere. Regardless, very fast from GX into this very free C site.
Forsaken's mandate, strictly do not die. Hold the paranoia until we're ready to try and flood in.
Flickless is in so much danger. There's a player in blue room as well.
Grabino here sees the clone. Now the Viper Wall comes up. Allow PRX here in position, but also GX to defensively set up behind it. Seas comes in. They are decayed down. Easy targets. Patman with the critical utility at the most important moment. Now the Nightfall comes through onto the side. Cloud here playing through tree. That door is opening. He sees it. Wouldn't have heard it otherwise. It's Jing toying with him, trying to keep him busy, keep his attention, catnips away from the fight, and he wins it out anyway. PRX, as only they know how.
Akhirnya PRX babi beneran 2-1 lagi. Kayaknya gue cuma bisa nonton PRX kan. Ntar lu gue kata terus.
To tilt the game in their favor.
GX did not make it easy. Respect for the comeback attempt, but PRX just a cut above on Lotus.
Quick break here, but when we return, the analyst desk are going to get us set up for our third and final map of the series.
Game changers. It's about competition, pure happiness. It's like a crazy experience. We're making history. It means so much to us. It's good to be back.
I guess you know what I've been looking for, success.
The beauty of gaming is it doesn't matter who you are. And as long as I'm good enough,
Everybody's getting a 4K.
I can go as far as I want.
That's what I like to see, baby.
全世界都会知道我们的厉害。
Tuh, tiba-tiba keluar. Apa ini? Ada PRX. Betting lagi. Gas. Map 1 lagi ya. Oh, cancel dulu deh. Cancel dulu. Map 3, map 3. Gas. Gas. Baiting lagi terakhir. Last map. PRX semua nih gue liat-liat nih. Mas, kalau yang bet PRX semua yang menang GX, kocak ngakak wak loh. Kalau nggak ada yang bet GX, kalau yang menang PRX, kayak nggak dapet apa-apa guys. Real, no fake. Anjir, ada satu Ronan. Bet Budi salah hei. Dempul dapat dari mana? Kurang 5 buat bet. Chat yang aktif nonton tiap 10 menit dapat. Tapi harus ngechat sih. Ngechat tuh dapatnya cepet.
One of the most consistent too.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he's basically just had an insane match overall, like performing to an incredibly high degree, showing it across different weapons, be it on the attack, the defense, having the operator in hand, and just denying any sort of aggression coming out of the side of GX. This was exactly the sort of response.
Something sih gokil bang.
Because I think something throughout the last couple of games.
Gokil kamu something.
Fantastic. He needs that sort of second man alongside him, and while in this game, it was definitely Devai.
Yeah, he certainly had it this time, and I think, you know, we come into this map, and the question on my mind is really PRX. They've just been PRX'd in a lot of rounds. They've got a taste of their own medicine. Pipson said it on the stage. When they come out and they hit us, they run it down. We're going to do exactly the same back, bring that same energy. It's a dangerous game to play against this squad. It worked on map 1, and would they be able to bounce back? They most certainly were here, and I think, as you said, David Devai, like, he was very impactful. Not a single opening duel when it came to that operator, but he was pulling them out of a lot of bad situations.
Poin saya berapa?
All of the opening kills pretty much went to the side of GX. 15 opening kills, only winning 7 out of them, and they threw a 5v3. This is where I get worried.
Gua bikin seru aja guys ya. Gua mah dukungnya PRX, tapi biar seru aja.
It's also their biggest issue before they got good was just throwing these advantages, and I don't like.
Biar seru aja, biar seru.
I do think though that it's more prevalent here on Lotus than in any other map in their pool, where it's a big map and there's a lot of individual mistakes that are forced out by their opponents. I don't think it's going to be the same when it comes to a map that they have played 7 times, not including the one that they played here, which they won dominantly over Sentinels on Sunset. So I think those problems fix themselves with the shift in map.
Yeah, I think it definitely has been the case, and also with Cloud, I think having to focus a little more on like mid-rounding and where they're actually going to be going. You saw his individual sort of position drop, whereas I think on Sunset he was fantastic. So I still have a lot of hope for them, but PRX are still PRX.
Yeah, and they sort of take turns, right, to see who shines and who gets to win the round. And for this one, in the Verizon high-speed moment, Jing just had enough. He was like, let's just go to halftime.
This can just happen sometimes, where you have a setup, you have a plan, you're trying to get aggressive, you're trying to get into a position where you can fight. A singular flash leaves you all blind, and then moments later, Jing wipes you out in a split second. And this isn't something we've seen like once or twice, maybe every once in a while. This is something we feel like happens every single day, especially when you have a player as talented as Jing.
Yeah, and seeing that level of confidence be re-hit by PRX, again, going back to the Alex interview where he said they were slow to start up against XLG, but once they found that rhythm, this is a team that snowballs. That's the worry now for GX, because they're now the ones that come in having to bounce back.
I mean, we wanted to see Sunset, we're gonna see Sunset, and this is where, in the beginning of the day, I felt like this is such an even playground for both of these teams. I mean, looking at how close map 1 and 2 has been so far, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a close map 3, but my problem is PRX are not getting out PRX as they were on map 1, you know? I don't think they're scared to play anymore, and that's when they're the scariest.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as well, this has been a map for a very long time now that is incredibly comfortable. The composition that they like to run with the Sage in the mix, where you're going to see these like cool little set plays that are based around the wall, but then also having just a load of potential delay. They can lock off a lot of angles as well, the way that they play it. And I think the differences in these comps is what makes it very interesting for me. It's that Sage facing off, I guess, in essence, against the Breach. It's like, those are the two that are missing, I guess. And I think that the way that I look at the Breach is Flickless is fantastic at putting players into position, especially Arrow when he's going for these aggro plays. I think that on the other side of things, sometimes that is a little bit more reliant on Jing, but they do the same thing with the Sage Wall. Yeah. Like, they put him in spots that you go, well, Jing shouldn't be there, but he is because of the way that they set him up in that manner.
Yeah, and on the other side, for PRX, playing with the Sage, not having like a traditional Sentinel to back you up, it does lead to some gaps, potentially, depending on what else you bring, in terms of that defense and stopping power. But you combine the Sage with the Viper as well that they're bringing to bear, and they can certainly have no shortage of it on the defense. The problem is on the attack, the occasional gap being left open behind, and I think that's something that GX will look to exploit when we've already seen that aggressive face come out of them. And I think backing up your point as well, Flickless coming into today, he is taking out Smokes players. He's third in terms of assists per round for the tournament so far, and he had a really tough time when it came to playing the Viper on Corrode. So that pulled his stats down a little bit. You see why he plays the Breach, especially in map number 1, with how good the supportive utility was. Some of the flashes on retakes won them the rounds. They were the difference makers, and I think that's going to carry through to the Breach here.
Yeah, I think as well, then putting that focus on Westside. He's been fantastic in these first 2 maps. I think when you have this, especially on the defensive start, you're going to have one side of the map that's very proactive, looking for fights, looking to take space. The other side of the map, if he gets shut down in this game, I think they're really going to struggle, because especially that attack side.
No special treatment, no special treatment. Tidak boleh transfer.
PRX, they performed better, at least in their last matchup. They were dominant when it came to that defensive side, didn't get to see much of their attack. But GX also fielding a better attack side. So in that second half, we get to see sort of the strongest parts of both. And Ara, in terms of opening duels,
well, this is it. The winner will be going straight to playoffs. Uber and Wire, let's find out who that's going to be.
What a map for a decider in this series as well. Sunset floated by
DRX.
Neither probably felt the need to be picking it here. But for GX, it's been one of their best maps, and we already got to see it on Parade against Sentinels, and they smoked them. That was not a close game.
This is the map where GX have the most depth in their strat book, which is really, I think, juxtaposed to a talking point from Lotus. And I would say that's very similar for PRX. They have a number of crazy things they like to throw out there with this Sage, which they like to
play. Belum ditutup karena belum 15 menit, biarin aja.
It's very convenient for them.
They rolled Chila Gaming on this too. Both teams have already shown their Sunset at
Biarin aja,
Will that tape matter? Was there enough time to start to integrate an understanding of how one another played?
Something does play great over here, by the way, as he just shuts down the flank with some very smooth taps. And Patman says, why not me too?
Gila. Pistol round PRX bagus banget, bro.
Shot, please. And it's down to 2 GX players, one of which is now one-weight in spawn, the other which is staring down 2 players over at Link.
Oh, gila something. Gila. Gila something. Ngeri banget kalau pistol round, cok.
I mean, he exits that last map with 275 ACS.
Ngeri pisan, euy.
2 first kill, first death. But what's even crazier to me statistically is that PRX, they go down
absen, guys, absen.
15 times?
Yeah,
they win 8 of those rounds. They convert a player disadvantage 8 out of 15 times. That's insane. That is an insane
what happens
conversion.
if they get the first kill?
They are more likely to win the round if they lose the first player, Wyatt.
All right. All classics here for GX, who already, honestly, have just impressed me by taking a map off PRX, keeping it close on the second. To just go back to the story of this game.
Oh, nice timing banget, anjir.
I was going to wait a second, depending on what Westside did next, but I mean, just seeing
nice skill dari Westside.
9th, 10th stage 1, and are taking it to the defending champions in PRX, the best team in the world right now. What an ascension for this team over the last few months.
Yeah, what have they changed? They just added some rookies to their roster. This round, of course, It's a very lightly held B side, and the Cypher setup is circumvented only the cost of one player, so it ends up being fairly clean. Look there for PRX, heading into a bonus that is got a couple Vandals in the mix. Pretty well bored up, all things considered.
Obviously, for as talented as this newcomer team of GX has been, PRX, they're experienced, they're rising to the occasion. Now they just need to close this out on Sunset. Top of the pool for either side. First buy now for GX, and this doesn't really look like much of a bonus buy for PRX, I'll tell you that. They have 4 upgraded fully rifles.
It feels like the business socks are on this map.
West side, he's just playing with some fun little kill trips over there on B, by the way.
A lesson GX learned against Sentinels, and the pips and drilled into them in that halftime we heard is that do not simply pay for flood retakes. Try and get ahead of the game. Re-clear aggressively here on defense. That's going to have to be the game plan. Gravino does not want to fight A on the corner. Instead, just falls back behind the smoke.
Was adjusting position into sight. Doesn't want to get denied at Link. Wants to be able to support his teammate in Gravino.
Oh, this aftershock pretty dirty. Jing here low after whatever transpired there. And we got Flickless back on an initiator. Insane util from him.
Wow, the re-clear onto Patman. He is immediately removed from the server. How do PRX react?
If you take your foot off the gas against this team,
Apa sih?
they're going to win these fights. They're going in
Apa sih?
2s and 3s. They control that A side there as PRX just... They let go of the tension a little bit.
30
seconds. Thank you satu gifted J.
It was a cool attempt at that refight with Forsaken teleporting across onto the box, and then you get that swing from Devi timed with it. But the duo from GX, Flickless and Grabino, refused to miss a shot in that situation.
Iya, jadi gue wave semua, coy.
Clear happening elsewhere behind the stall util on one part of the map. The fault line aftershock to slow PRX down as they try to go to Link side.
I really liked all of the decisions, honestly, that Flickless was making throughout that entire situation. From
hari-hari nge-wave, semua nge-wave.
He pushes all the way through Link into sight to try to beat that timing so he can support Grabino. They're not just playing for some kind of retake or taking a safe line. No, he doubles up and then they fight into elbow. Beautiful.
But Grabino does not fight on first contact. He backs off with that dark cover, gives himself the space to double up with one of his teammates and slow the game down a little bit. Then they can be the ones that take the initiative.
Right now, PRX, they are bought down into this round. Less than 1K credits for every single player on their squad. West side with the deep cam into B main, so they can product that a little bit, but then just have that for later in the round if necessary. But probably won't survive till later in the round. Jing wants to break that. ASAP trap play activated.
Try and play ahead of this fault line here, but very quickly PRX get back. That's a thrust for GX that is avoided.
A good nade thrown there from Jing just to deactivate any acceleration that GX might have had in store for them with that trap play, double stun, relabel fault line. So it's nice that PRX are able to bait out so much utility early.
GX very quickly now just assemble behind that top mid smoke, ready for a fight.
I mean, look at this position by Westside over on B, by the way. He is just hard committed to this angle in main. That is some bold stuff. He has the cage to play off of.
Are they going to re-clear B main again? They thought about it. Aru definitely thought about it. Our drone come in though, and that is dealt with now. Pull back a little bit and leave Ara close to the door.
And this time they're just set up with a fault line defensively when the pop comes in. PRX have to be worried about getting stunned here, but they baited it out.
Okay, Jing no unaffected by the fault line. Ara realizes this, so doesn't fully swing around that corner. Instead leaves it up to West side. Gotta be recovered here. Jing gets tucked in on the side. That's where the flash comes from, though, and something does get across. Flickless is going to be busy on this left side of the site, and there was a Sage Wall to cover the market push. PRX have kind of accounted for everything here. Very meticulous hit onto the site, and Grabino has very little to see with the remnants of the wall in his way.
Cloud has to be careful about corners. Oh, directly to his left and right. Grabino removed and PRX.
Good shit, good shit. Gue pikir kalah, anjir.
Cloud, they win
good
those
shit, good shit.
backside fights as well. Swings from Jing, something on opposite sides, a pillar. And I think they did a good job earlier in the round of getting so much of that defensive stall util out. You know, R doesn't have a relay bolt for main there. They mostly dodge out that second fault line. The cycle back up as well.
You can see the tendency for GX as
Pop ini PRX bisa selesai kagak 70%. Apa 100% tadi ya? Lupa gua.
Lupa gua. Fill that space with some form of proactivity.
Still a buy for GX, however, but a necessary round win when you took into account the economy from PRX just then.
The door coming down, shot at.
Now with that dark cover thrown top right mid by Forsaken, that's certainly implying that there may be some intention for PRX to work up mid, and you can see that that's resulted in Cloud having to pick up Boba. But that is all just, you know, sort of minor distraction laid as PRX intend on going towards...
Malah bet PRX lagi, capek. Bukan bet GX, malah bet PRX, capek.
Work against him. Patman ultimately couldn't punish meaningfully. Fabinho takes a hit off that. PRX decide to go elsewhere. Smoke to top mid. This one not really prepared for by GX. They'll have a crossfire though.
And now a good thing for PRX is that they're drawing Flickless around the map with that utility. Isn't posted up in a great spot to support the anchors on B main right now. Something with that ultimate through. Does it get a tag? No. Just out the way is Cloud.
Oh, kena sekali tuh. Kena dua lagi.
Forsaken also lit up there as Flickless is able to take him out of the game early. Patman trying to get quickly up from
nice, Patman.
Now Jig, Showstopper on site. It's a bit wayward, but Dubai is there to deliver. Now Cloud tucked in that corner. Ara on a late reflank here. There's an opportunity here. If he can disrupt the plant, yes, spike loose. Ara into the fight for it now. Relay bomb thrown out, but doesn't quite have the depth. So Jing
1v2, 1v2.
Low HP is Cloud, backside left alone. What is the maneuver?
Money's pretty bad.
Back up in just a few seconds.
19 points of health for Cloud.
I mean, surely you go for the 1 versus 2, right? Even with such low HP.
You can get heads turned away with this recon. Not the opportunity. I think he realizes they're tucked in the corner.
Nice.
Clean double swing from PRX. Gets them 3 rounds ahead.
They know Cloud is so weak. Time to run at him, double face. There's no way he wins out both. And Flickless does, you know, get back to that site at a reasonable pace. I mean, that's
this sage utility is going to be a pain.
Man, Aura rushes it just a little bit at the end there. You know, if he waits fully for that spike to be recovered, maybe someone to run towards it, then relay, waste a little bit more time.
I think the relay pulls up a little short. I don't know if it catches on the Jing, but either way, he still loses that duel. Again, GX getting busy behind that one-way A side.
GX who have
camera taken out.
Spicy wall here, Wyatt. This is just for top mid.
Cover going out. Yeah, Patman on this map has a number of different walls that he's throwing out throughout the game that constantly keep you guessing as to the intentions of PRX.
Just gives them that top mid smoke, quote unquote, on demand.
Poison's off.
Also it can imply a lot, draw players towards mid off the extremities.
Yeah, and in this instance, it gives them the opportunity to fight towards that right side.
Look at this though, GX re-clearing A main now. Tons of info for them, and a chance to threaten the Tiles player.
One of those kill trips immediately. Dealt with Grapinho. Wow, wins that out.
So the spotlight here is over at the B side though, Wyatt. Inside the smoke on market side, West side is waiting for his moment to spring forth. Grapinho has a rifle. It's the only one though for GX here, and Flickless shows himself. That's that breach util for a retake now not available.
Waduh.
Oh my god.
Okay.
West side with a crazy shot now, but something locks down the flank. Jing has been on a tear this round.
Waduh.
Oh my god! Yeah. What is happening?
Just the individual gunplay here is ridiculous.
Waduh.
Oh my god!
What the fuck?
Something now has to stop this. They know where he's going to be. Something mindful. Mineral theft would reveal him inside main, but it's going to disrupt the plant. Grapinho now's gotten it to half, and something needs a better gun instead of reloading, and Westside brings it down. The most unlikely of MasterCard thrifties there for GX. Comes at one of the most important moments.
What on earth are we seeing in that round? Grapinho with the first sheriff headshot. Westside breaks one panel in the wall that has been such a nuisance.
Nggak paham.
Immediate headshot on the cross.
Nggak paham gua. Don't understand, bro. Ah, lo, chow ni mal lah kata lo.
Guys, good job, guys.
And
they keep doing this.
It was the rounds like that that got GX back in the game on ascent and then eventually propelled them to the win on that map. Crucial eco round pickups.
Kacau guys, kacau kata gua mah.
Uncanny from GX, but they still find themselves behind the pack. Cloud just takes the timing there. That was back on Link. Forsaken thought he had gotten deep, but now he's been dug out. I'm just waiting for a GX re-clear. It's going to happen at some point. Ara trying to post up with the op. Dangerous now, though. Punished. PRX very quickly spring into action. Down the op player.
Flickless not able to assist. Didn't have a stun there. Wants to pick up the line. 2 GX players here. They have
Nice.
the Paper Rex. Flickless a little bit too eager, and now Cloud in the corner by that showstopper.
That likely will do it, especially with Devin able to stave Corrode off as he makes his way in through spawn. That's another 4v5 conversion round for PRX, Wyatt.
Jing has just been a menace in this game so far. Going absolutely crazy.
Ara maybe just look, and the more successful reclears from GX there for Elbow with multiple players backed up. Ara goes solo, tries to post up, and oh jeez, and is punished.
Flickless just didn't have the util to really assist him in that spot. It's unfortunate for GX that their positions just get pretty scrambled.
Uncharacteristic from them. They are very regimented on this map, especially.
Now PaperX have picked up that op and thrown it over to Devi. Shades of the Lotus play. This is a classic from GX, but PaperX, they are totally out the way of it. Patman gets out of there.
They got Sentinels with this 2 rounds out. Not PRX though, a little too canny for it. They've been able to take up residence on this A side, and West side's trying to ask the question, do I stay or do I go? Jing dominates him from above. Now Cloud being as low as he is, he tries to go up and get a weapon. Punish for that as well. Jing won't be ready for the corner. That is one for Ara. Fast lane will get him out.
Corner Mas Jing dicek corner.
You're exactly right. That's a play that GX were finding success with in the EMEA Stage 2 playoffs. Found success with against Sentinels. PaperX, they played around that, and specifically it's Patman playing around that.
Cornernya di skip. Kacau, babi
waits for the
ngepet.
moment to get back in and catches one of the GX players wrapping through tiles after the play. He handled that exactly as you need to.
He's been
just
here.
as you need to do to counter this GX aggression.
Patman's been on this roster now for quite some time, but his addition really allowed for that more well-rounded strategic approach. PRX no longer just W gaming, right?
That was the turning point, his addition.
Kecewa bro, kecewa bro.
One of our great top teams in Valorant to world beater squad. Favorite to win champions.
See it there, and it's just the decision to play around that push-up mid.
What the hell?
We haven't seen any team really be able to deal with this GX defense outside of Liquid online when they were at their absolute peak in the playoffs.
What the hell?
Aside from them, GX have been able to beat all of the other competition in Europe, dismantled Sentinels on this map. It's really only been absolute, top tier teams that have been able to do it, which, obviously right now Liquid a bit of a downturn after game 1, but can't discredit the fact that their play during the EMEA playoffs run was, world class.
I mean, a sweep of the EMEA final, I think, is pretty telling. Here, GX have found success on this map when they've been able to, fight for that space in numbers. I'm thinking back to that, multiplayer re-clear midway through an A hit into elbow. That paid out well for them, but PRX are still winning rounds down a player. It's more than just that first pick. Cloud found their pick over towards Link, and they still ended up losing in the 5v4.
And also, for PRX's sake, going up against a team who like to be so active on defense, the fact that you kill their offer and recover
PRX kalau main di Corrode gimana ya?
defensive aggression, like one of the best
guys,
tools in the game to do so. That's just
Thank you dah.
further giving them a bit
Kalau PRX main di Corrode mah.
More of that attack side Senti op from Devi.
Very meta generally, but yeah, more from Devi. He was
great on Lotus too.
On Lotus he was just a standout, right? This time, PaperX back to B main, all the way grouped up. They've been doing a good job of just removing these west side trips from Choke. Again, it's just depleted. He keeps putting this one main, but the shock is breaking it from something.
There is a trip here, though, that could punish Jing, who likes to tuck in that corner after hitting the site. Well, he won't get onto the side at all. Cloud! What a Hunter's Fury. Jing and Devi already extracted from
Yeah, Lord, yeah, Lord.
I mean, Devi maybe could have played to a res on Jing, but then he also dies, so no one will be getting rezzed in this round.
Yeah, Lord, yeah,
We've
Lord.
been talking about the 4v5 for PaperX, how absurd their conversion rate on that has been in this series, but the 3v5 surely not, right? Surely our 3v5 conversion rate isn't just above 50%.
Patman actually able to get a timing on Ara. already set for the shot, forcing Ara off the line. Trade out by Flickless now, who makes a solo venture into elbow with that screen active the last moments.
Oh no, Forsaken was making a lot of noise in B main. Westside doesn't dare step out.
Forsaken
Oh
has
my
a good
god.
idea. There is an op there by Forsaken, so he might have to take that up again.
I mean, what is going on now? Something has just threaded the needle into A spawn, teleport towards A for Forsaken.
He does have the spike though, so he has to give this spot up at some point.
I mean, again, something only has 12 seconds, now has to get back to the site.
Could respond.
Look at the mini-map, man. This is chaos. Now Forsaken said, okay, bet I'll take your positioning and spawn. And might catch Cloud.
He got him! He got him off the spike!
Astaga.
Flickless, dirty work. That map was turned upside down.
Ya Allah.
Oh my, I mean, it's just pandemonium across the mini-map. But Flickless plays to the out of just throw him up into the skybox.
That's the tune to a 3-round win. I'm taking that trade every day of the week. Oh, the Sage Wall there makes it a bit uncomfortable.
Oh, so
One enemy remaining.
The timing on that is perfect.
Tercancel guys, tercancel.
Chaos round. Somehow they almost brought it back, by the way.
Yep.
They had me believing they
That
were
was
going to win
3v5 to start.
I was very invested in the fact that they were somehow going to win that 3v5, but Flickless, the cool hands prevail.
Ara's pushed up here. Waiting for an Aldrin around this one way. We'll give that space up. Flickless not quite in position to help out with a fault line.
Aura has been pushed up a lot in this game, and it's yet to really net too much value. PRX have been exploiting his forward positions by getting entry kills onto him.
Flickless has used a lot of his util here. Just the flashes now. Ara with a relay bolt. Devi already up on the corner though. Smoked out.
Look at this. Just pacing, rotate. They've got 4 players now onto this A site.
PRX sniffed this out. There's obviously the chance to work different parts of the map, but they obviously concerned about the Cypher. Ding! He's seeing that whole time by Flickless.
That is criminal!
In midair! Just wins it out. Gets deeper on towards Link. Rubinho at least shuts him down, but that was ungodly, and it's an opener for PRX. They can now look to exploit. Forsaken crouches into the shot, and Ara is dashed aside. Cloud trying to work around this wall, and Rubinho finds the corner. There's a player trying to spike down.
Udah biasa.
In deep trouble. Up the proverbial.
Udah biasa.
Out of his grasp, and an Aldrone looking to sniff him out.
Surely not, right? Smoked off. GX have to lock this one up. They just make the call for that full rotate towards the A site. PRX have been going for a fair amount of re-hits. They were positioned, ready, and even with Jing getting an absolutely illegal kill onto Flickless with the satchel in. They still just have more than enough players to lock it down. Kind of goes for more, and Gravino's just ready for that swing through.
And then he finds 2 more. I don't know if there's an awareness about the fact that he's sort of poked around the corner, or maybe feels like he's been covered from box there, but Devi, in theory, could have had that corner held.
Oke, sesi di caci maki coach Alec lagi guys. Sesi caci maki coach Alec.
This game is closed up to 2 rounds. The money for PRX is it's okay. They've got 4 ultimates to work with here. I can see why they're frustrated.
Alex has definitely been frustrated at the last couple round losses. Great time to get a timeout in. They've got all the ultimates up, as you mentioned. Ensure that you're getting 7 on the board using all these ults, right? It would be a massive disappointment for PRX if they can't close one of these rounds out with that arsenal.
And back-to-back 1 rounds for GX, though, means they're buying for the rest of the half, so no concerns economically. Although for them, there's no big ultimates on the horizon, really. Maybe
I mean, yeah, that's really the thing.
And,
PRX min-max the ults. They can use some for this round, use some for the next round, and that can be enough to win it out. Yeah, against the GX we'll have done.
Maybe a fast play behind something Hunter's Fury might be in order. So the Cypher util at B, though, makes that a difficult prospect, but that can be cleared, of course. The Shocks have been good at taking out the B main trip, for example. Westside's not really invested in changing that.
No, he is throwing that trip every single time. Has been getting consistent.
Dimas apa aja Dimas?
Right, all right, very fast chip up mid. Paranoia through market. What is that, a direct?
That must have been. Grabinho was in a place
What
that's
the
hard
fuck,
to hit.
Dimas?
Showstopper.
What
Up
the
on top of Kiosk
fuck?
in the 10 spot. There's Patman. finds himself one, but again, PRX still have that numbers advantage. Divide with a Sheriff to work with, though.
Timing out main. Forsaken swings onto west side, the lone anchor on site.
There's no eyes on main for west side. There's not much he could have done. Ara might want to try and play into the site.
36 stylein kucing, guys.
Another round should be good as done. Only one ult necessary for this one. That is so ideal for PRX. They just have to stop all in Flickless.
GX going to play the way into the side. Ara's only had 2 frags for the half. It's been a quieter outing for the Neon.
Look at this delay, though. They're slowed on one side, walled on the other.
And Jing is going to be standing in their way now as well. Talk about arresting utility. It's just Ara in that 1 versus 3. And his troubles continue. PRX have made 7 rounds now. And like you mentioned, only at the cost of the showstopper there.
They just bring that round to 0 to 100 straight away. Jing through. Yeah, it's like a basically direct on the Gravino. That's crazy. What a rocket. And then Patman had just been on that late lurk, waiting in mid to cut off the rotators.
I mean, that's such a hard spot for Westside to be in. He knows that market's compromised. He knows there could be a push out of main.
And with the advantage PRX have, in terms of the numbers, they don't even feel like they need to take backside control. Right, just wall it off, we'll slow the other side, delay, it's fine. 3 ults for this final round. PRX to get in the lead, 8-4. This is GX's best map, but realistically, I think you could say the same probably for PRX.
And they didn't play much of it in stage 2 at all. They played Bind 5 times, Haven 4 times. They actually had a narrower map pool of played maps in the stage than most of their contemporaries. But everything is still
I think
well and good on this map.
I think they are just incredible here. Flickless, though, with that first kill. That was catching Patman on the cross.
Top mid was where that shot came from. A Divine Jing out in the side. Hunter's Fury coming out from something. Nothing to see here, though. Shorty for Forsaken.
Aduh, Forsaken udah lihat moncong senjata lo tadi lo. Waduh.
It's on something who is looking for a wrap. Something that Flickless is already accounting for. It may not matter. Something looking to the corner of the masonry. Sees Ara first. Gravino is in no better shape than he is. 21 plays 46. Spike out on B. And something is slowing it down.
The Gravino in serious shock dart danger. Unfortunately, not one of Omen's abilities. There's a recon backup for something just now as well. He is taking his time, obviously. From his perspective, Gravino could basically be anywhere.
For something, it could be nothing or it could be everything, Wyatt. Up onto the spike.
Oi!
That is crosshair position for Gravino, but this time, Gravino hits the jackpot and grows GX's round total to 5 heading into the half. Very scrappy, very competitive first half, and GX getting those 4 rounds in a row was huge for them. We'll get a quick break. We'll be back, of course, with the conclusion of this decider map. Winner goes to playoffs.
Nice guys.
Padahal dia punya rek, dia punya lu punya shock dart, lu punya recon, babi. Dia punya recon lo, dia bisa. Tuhan Yesus. Jason lagi underperform nih. Hacu. Got you.
7 rounds to their name after a pretty high-paced attack side, but their opponents, who were virtually invisible domestically in kickoff, invisible in stage 1, make the changes by adding 3 rookies, and now they've done enough themselves on this first half of Sunset to potentially put themselves into playoffs over who many people believe is the best team in the world. GX looking very good, but they need to get Ara in this game. Coinbase Econ Report, of course, we'll be looking at first to highlight Jing, who is 14-8 right now, with some pretty filthy moments on this map. hard hitting on towards that B side especially.
Yeah, so crucial for the entries. We saw one of those last rounds, that really fast-paced double satchel with the showstopper into market. That was crazy. And
Inhaler
honestly, in
tuh.
terms of pace,
Inhaler tuh.
pretty much they match
Pilek
PaperX
Bang
on
Jing.
this
Sama
map.
dong kita.
We're going to see a lot of fast play. Aura is going to have to come to life here on attack because GX's game plan revolves around really nicely paced, sequenced out util around Aura, putting him in positions to get easy entry kills by connecting great fault lines, connecting crucial paranoias, etc. And those pieces of utility will come usually in perfect succession, and that's what PaperX are going to have to go up against. But GX Aura needs to come to life.
Yeah. What I like about Aura, though, is he will slow down if he is too far ahead of that util. He has such a great sense for the pacing to make sure that it all lines up. And Flickless was incredible on Ascent in setting him up. It's going to have to be a mirror image of that on the Sunset attack side.
That being said, if there is one agent that is also great at slowing down the pace of attackers, stalling them out, it will be that Sage. Device utility should have big impact here on the defense. The way that Patman anchors B with the wall is sick, but right now, B ignored by GX. It's an effort to work up towards this A side. PaperX, who had been triple facing down mid, trying to take some kind of contact. They're mostly just stacked up towards Link on account of that.
Giving up for some contact here via Lincoln. Outside of that retake, wanted to slow down this push in towards elbow. They know what's coming. And they've given that part of the map up on purpose. Oh, something! Had his crosshair positioned perfectly for that, and a 6.
Gila, crosshair placement something lagi menyala banget, guys.
It's practically extrasensory perception.
Now Flickless has 2 flashes. He's got the aftershock ready to play within this post by Corbinho. Look at the situation he's in.
So dangerous. There was a shoulder pick, not full committal for Device.
Nice.
He's going to be able to take the frag.
Something again, and that's Flickless down. The utility removed.
Iya, kayaknya gue selesai PRX udahan deh, guys. Tidur, gue tidur. Gak apa-apa ya guys ya, gue selesai PRX udahan ya. Gue gak nonton DRX, sorry banget. Gue mesti istirahat bro, suara gue udah kayak gini bro. Kacau.
And then it was an ace on map 1, and then, I mean, bro, what is going on with him today?
Again, Corbinho always dangerous in a spot like this, but there's a slowdown, a shoulder pick from Divide to confirm. Ara gets his in the round, but that's it. that is grim satisfaction from Coach Alex. Nothing more.
Insane. I set it back
Thank you pengertiannya, terima kasih, terima kasih.
Right now, I think you could argue is maybe his all-time
gue mesti istirahat bro.
It's definitely one of his highest peaks he's had over the last couple months.
But more than half of his kills have come from Ghost and pistol rounds.
It's crazy.
Just want to put that out.
Those rounds are pretty important. He's stepping up when they need him.
Second
and now
pistol, one for PRX, you're right.
It's crazy.
Ini gue minum obat nih. Terima kasih udah diingetin. Minum obat dulu.
What a recon! Something sets up for the first kill and takes a second for himself. Jing doesn't want to be left out. Refuses to be a footnote on a round like this, but Flickless will get the drop on him. Stinger always dangerous.
By the way, we've had 0 time to mention it, but that was a force from GX. No time to mention it because they got absolutely brutalized by a util combo play from PRX, a late nade. The recon comes over top. We've seen that from Something's point of view.
Iya, pas main ambiotik gue sakit, sekarang sakit lagi bro. Gila ya. Sakit mulu bejir.
I feel like there's a tipping point here. This first gun round, if it's not successful for GX, this map gets away from them pretty quickly. Tough pistol round to run into. Losing both pistols on this map, never great.
On the first half, it was a thrifty round win that got them back into it. It was West Side with a Sheriff. She's got right now. And on Ascent, it was 2 rounds like this as well.
Nice.
Yeah, Something, he is just simply not easing up.
Expecting more from that, and he was right, in a sense. He's definitely swarming with GX players right now, but
nice.
Jing is feeling himself.
Spike down, mid.
We'll take 2 with that Spectre. It's just Cloud. Spike is in mid. It's all but impossible.
Nice.
And so Pistol and Anti-Eco, they pass without much event here. GX down by 5.
How are you supposed to stop PaperX?
Oh, gue udah sering banget ganti spray gue. Pantal guling gue juga baru diganti kayak bulan lalu.
36 kills currently between the 2 of them. That is madness.
It's a very early showstopper picked up for Jing.
And 1 away from a Hunter's Fury for Something.
Yeah. Talk about ideal kill allocation. You got Jing and Something, the 2 best players. have those orbs fed to. Ara, only one kill so far this half. It's been quiet to be fair, but now gun round here for GX. No thrifty for them this time around.
Iya, gue tuh kayaknya kecapean. Ini kan gue juga streaming 4 hari kemarin jam 1 semua, guys. Gue record, gue ngurusin perks. Mungkin antar paket, live streaming di Shopee, capek gue. Drop gue gara-gara capek. Offside things, offside. Nice, Batman, nice. Nice banget anjir.
And how are they supposed to get this back? Flickless and Cloud, both the ones at the util.
And it is the pace that GX have just being
nice.
stalled out entirely by
Nice
the
bang, Por.
existence of this Sage. It is the counter to their play style.
Bonus round menang, nice banget
And
anjir.
that's exactly why. What a response to that split execute from Devi. And then Patman, 1 versus 2.
Oh, gue udah 2 hari dari kemarin sama hari ini jemur gue.
Originally there was a slow warp there at market that made it impossible to fully split this properly.
Okay. I mean, there's even a little gap in the wall that Devi exploits.
We actually saw that on Ascent on a number of occasions.
145, dude. 145, dude.
Showstopper used. Now, something. Hunter's Fury. Still no one on GX with an ultimate.
And look at where something is sat. I think he might be ready to rip this. As soon as he gets an inkling, something is up. He's going to cause a split here for Westside, eventually on his own.
And this is a split again through top mid, but this time it's AR with a crucial kill onto Forsaken. That keeps GX in the round.
This elbow presence, though, for PRX is something of concern for GX. They had to dig it out. And look, the other arm of their pincer can't actually get past the line of scrimmage onto the A side. There's got to be a wrap, but Devi's waiting for it.
Waduh, Davai greedy.
He has to fight his way out of this map, but they've not checked
Nice.
the got himself two.
1v2.
Up in the round, Cloud at least has the spike
1v2 yuk.
But the net on him is closing too.
Oh, mereka bakal force buy abis ini kalau kalah, bro. Easy win.
He's feeling the pressure, the walls closing in, stuck in elbow, has to get that spike, does so. But now where can he plant where he feels any level of safety? He wants
Udah ketahuan tuh di mana tuh, udah ketahuan tuh.
Good intuition.
Udah ketahuan di elbow.
He's expecting the flank.
Udah ketahuan di elbow.
Fall into this trap. The last member of PRX that's going to be fallible to it.
Something open, facing this angle right now.
Waduh, bau. Waduh, nge-wave anjir. Nice.
The last best chance there for GX goes by the wayside. Another attempted split through mid.
PRX kayak tau lu sakit bang, dicepetin matchnya, dicepetin ya. Iya. Dicepetin sampai jam 11 ya. Harusnya jam 10 kelar tuh. Jam 11 kelar ya babi. Oh, ini bagus banget Jing. Menyala Jingku.
And he saves the round for PRX with that 2-piece.
Now, GX at the 11th hour.
Welcome playoff.
To stay alive in this series. PRX has expected
Welcome
to advance
playoff.
first out of this group to playoffs.
And it's a fast play down mid. Jing satcheling off of that paranoia.
Cloud pinged out, Forsaken. Hears all of this and chooses not to step forward. Now gets under the side of the bubble. Batman controlling it from one part of the map.
Nice banget.
Grabinho, though, 3 players now inside this elbow, and they're going to go for it. Ara throwing caution to the winds. It has to be now.
What is the maneuver for GX? They're being surrounded. There's a flank coming from their spawn side. They want to flip the map. They want to play from the defense spawn.
GG's.
McLeod is caught. It's a 2
GG's.
versus 4.
The head of the snake cut off. It is a high throw. It doesn't look to be the case. It's Ara now.
GG's.
Trying to relay bolt his way out of this now.
Jangan bercanda lu.
Waiting on the other side is something. Waiting for his just desserts. A frustrating map, but there it is. Ara has found himself 4. A Red Bull clutch to keep GX in the game.
He's been silent for a while, but comes back in crazy fashion with that. Oh my god.
Relay bolt. Might have bought him the space he needed.
What a moment. Devi can't connect. You hate to have an off.
Lu lihat Alek tuh. Lu lihat Alek.
How are
Lu lihat
GX
Alek.
still in this game?
Yeah, that's a hands-to-head kind of moment there for PRX.
I was ready for the arena music to cue, players to stand up, fist bumps to start, but we're still going.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
GX have been able to work with a little bit more in terms of weaponry.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
All of them out there, but a Hunter's Fury is ready for Cloud. They're in this still. Standard one-way refresh there for Forsaken. Sees that fault line come through. This is going to pull this over of something over to Link.
Just tries to get a bit of pre-fire off, and now Recon Paranoia just stalls up GX.
Buy some time for this rotate to be pulled across from B. GX do look committed to this.
Forsaken just jumps out to get a little bit of info.
Nice Defy.
Westside caught on the cross.
Nice Defy.
Really hoping to be a thorn and deny a wraparound, but there will be a reflank coming from PRX now, and GX know it. It's time to go onto the side. Goes Auraflow trying to set him up here with a Hunter's Fury. No tags. Forsaken able to jump away from it for the most part. And now at Link, a little uncomfortable PRX.
Cloud watching the flank. Flickless getting the spike down.
Nice trade.
1 for 1. One
Nice
more
trade.
kill for Flickless. He'll get
4v3, 4v3.
3 up though for GX. They don't have a lot to work with. Flickless needs the frag. Something that gets swung on. It's going to be Ara finding his.
Nice, Batman, nice.
And Flickless solo on the side. Hardest rolling thunders there. He can make use of it now. The 1v1, but
GG.
Defy swings on in.
GG boys.
And finally,
GG. Welcome play off.
Shooting power of this PRX team will send them first into
Welcome play off.
When Jing
Welcome.
and something are playing like that. I think this
Oh
last
yeah.
map, this last win for PaperX here, the most impressive of this series, right? Being able to
Welcome
have the
play
most decisive
off.
victory against GX.
Assalamualaikum
on their best
play
map.
off.
They looked well prepped. Between Jing and something, two of them combined have
Auto da
dropped
panda.
44 kills. That is madness.
Generally, though, a banger of a series. Yeah, it felt like PRX really able to feel themselves on this Sunset map. There are moments for GX. Thinking back, though, man, Senna Lotus gave us some incredible moments, some great gameplay.
Nice.
I think GX were maybe hoping that
Okay, guys.
Ara could get into the game a little bit earlier here on
Aku
Sunset,
pamit
though.
dulu guys ya.
It ends the first half with only
Istirahat
those
dulu ya,
3 kills.
biar aku lebih
There are a
baik
couple of big
besok.
ultimate rounds that come
Thank you
up for
semuanya.
GX.
Jangan lupa untuk like, share,
Aren't
subscribe, dan
quite
join
able to
membership.
turn in their favor. And just some ridiculous
I'll see you guys again
moments
besok.
there from PRX. Able to read
Semoga
the
DRX
split
menang.
through mid on
Istirahat
multiple
dulu.
consecutive rounds.
Yeah, that Sage, I think this comp
Cheers,
from
guys.
PaperX just really threw a spanner in the works as far as how GX
Bye bye.
approached
Thank you
this map.
semuanya.
I think
Bye
it was a
bye.
pretty
Doakan aku
great
cepat
counter
sembuh.
in a
Amin. Peace out.
Impressive stuff from PaperX
Damn.
to close it out in dominant fashion, but we definitely have to give respect still to GX, who were able to take that first map off of them, keep Lotus close. Again, just coming into this, the storylines of these two teams where they were at, back at, just reframe to the context that these teams existed in at Toronto. PaperX winning the tournament. GX just finished